3, 2, 1, and welcome back to Chasin the Racin.
So this episode is brought to you by OMG Racing, Lucky Day Competitions, and JCT Truck and Trailer Hire.
This week's episode sponsor is Celsius Doors. Celsius Doors, local business based in Carlisle, established in 2010. They are specialists in anything from commercial, industrial roller shutter doors. Originally starting the business over in Carlisle, they've expanded out to other areas of the UK and are now setting up another depot in the Newcastle region. Celsius Doors also a proud sponsor of the Chasin the Racin F900 team, and we've been working with them for quite a long time now. We'll put all of their contact details in the description below, and you can reach out if you have any requirements for roller shutter doors, anything industrial or commercial.
And sitting next to me on my right is the glorious, the delicious Christian Iddon. How are we doing, son?
Fantastic. Even better for getting those words against my name.
That's it. He gets really upset if you don't give him a compliment.
It's the only time I get complimented.
That's it. He is a married man.
Feel good.
Yeah.
And opposite me is British champion and current championship leader. Now, this is how good I am at doing my homework. Which championship year did you win again? It was 2022.
22, yeah.
That's mad. That literally feels like yesterday on that side of things.
Oh, yeah. Time flies, doesn't it?
It does indeed. But I tell you what, Brad Ray on the show, but I'm going to ask the most important. Well, it's actually a bit of a rumour. And I hope this rumour's true. See how the room went a little bit more quiet.
I'm excited for this.
It's not years of media training have not prepared you for this, but I'm going to jump straight in. Is it true you bring a parrot to race meetings?
Yeah. Well,
it's amazing.
It's a family pet. So obviously mum and dad come to every weekend. Sometimes if you went to like flyaways or Europe, she'd go to like what do you call it, like Parrot Sanctuary or something, like a
Parrot holiday.
Yeah,
hotel,
like a Parrot
hotel.
Parrot
Like
hotel,
a dog
yeah.
hotel, but
But she
Parrot
hates it, so mum and dad just bring her along to the racing, and yeah, absolutely loves it.
At Brands, to be fair, Toby was mesmerised by what's the parrot called?
Gertie.
Gertie, that's it. Yeah, Toby loved it. Toby loved a bit of Gertie.
What kind of parrot?
It's Senegal, so it's only small. It's only like a small little green thing. Don't talk, don't fly because you have her wings clipped, so she can't just up and leave. Yeah, because I'm sure someday she wakes up and thinks, you know what, I'd love to just fly away and leave this place. But yeah, no, she's golden.
Do you reckon the parrot has an opinion going, that was a bad lap time, I'm going to get her. I can't even fly away from this.
Watch it on TV like, oh my God. Had enough.
That is, I was really hoping you were going to give that answer, because who was I speaking to about that? It was saying, oh, I either bring a parrot. I'm like,
yeah,
having me on that.
No, she come to BSB. Well, we got her in 2010, maybe end of 2010, and obviously I come to BSB in 2011 on 125s, and she come in 2011. Basically, come all the time until I went up to World Superbikes for 2 years, and then obviously back again this year. So she's 15 now.
But they last a long time, don't they?
Yeah, up to 40 to 50 years.
I only know this from Brands when I was having a chat with your mum.
Yeah, so
about the parrot, about Gertie.
Might even outlive me. You never know. She's doing well. She's doing well.
The parrot at the funeral, fucking hell, I thought he was going to give it a lap here.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the best. So when you say, like, no, I want to talk about World Superbikes, but later on. But do you reckon that's why it wasn't quite the luckiest year, because you didn't take the parrot?
Yeah, I took her to Donington because it was the only English round.
Yeah.
Yeah, still didn't go very well, so.
So it's not the parrot.
So it's not the parrot, no. Couldn't blame it on her. That's it.
Christian, you're going to have to up the game. You're going to have to bring the Cocker Spaniel.
That's
the
it.
family Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a clever thing, getting an animal that's not banned from racetracks.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, really.
They I don't know if they snuck them in, but in World Superbikes they brought dogs. Like Marcel Schotter brought his dog along.
Well, when you race on the continent, you do see dogs and stuff at the racetrack, and it's weird because if you spend your life racing in Britain and you see a dog at a racetrack, you're like,
it's not right, is it? Yeah,
there's
but they bring them along. Yeah.
Has there ever been an incident to actually say ban it?
Not
that I know of.
But don't get me wrong.
There's been plenty of things with animals on track, but not domesticated ones. Actually, do you remember when there was a couple of horses on the track at Snet?
Shit, the bed with the Jubilee.
Just remember that.
No, what year was that?
Well, hold on. When did the Queen die?
20, maybe? Was it 20?
20.
It wasn't it with the...
There was 2 horses on the track at
No,
Snet.
that's 22.
That was Snetterden.
The Queen died. 22, was it?
Can't remember.
Because we
I
weren't
know.
allowed.
Proper world list.
We didn't have a podium, did we? At Snap.
No. Was that when the horses went on?
That was, yeah.
Was that
Because
the-
it was obviously conspiracy theories that it was, because it's the Queen's. Was it the funeral? Or it was that
There's
weekend we
something that
lost.
weekend.
we
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's a good thing we keep our fingers on the pulse with their current news and affairs.
Exactly,
Unless it's a lap time
You
around
get,
the
it, you
circuit.
get it at Phillip Island loads, don't you? Like loads of sessions get stopped
Yeah,
for kangaroos. You've seen some of the there's that picture of like a cobra on a track somewhere, and that's a pretty famous
In Australia,
photo.
yeah. It's just
in Malaysia, I think it was. There was a flipping cobra on the track or something.
Imagine folding the front there.
Oh,
And you're sliding on your face, and there's a king cobra going.
Just give
"Come
me a
on,
little,
son."
Life's
give me a
already
little
going-
wink as you go
life-
past.
you folded the front, life's already bad, and then you just happen to crash into a cobra.
Yeah,
Gutted.
yeah. You do.
not your day, is it, when that happens?
Something, wouldn't
It
you?
is not your day. It is not your day.
But we were chatting before. You have been on the pod before,
Yeah.
Yes.
but you didn't even remember
No, that's bad. No,
because you've not been in the trailer before.
not been in the trailer. Yeah.
And by the way, another shout out. We have the Lord Commander Grace in the corner, and she's obviously done the homework. And it was episode 5.
Episode 5. So what you on now?
Drugs.
Yeah. Apart from that.
What are we on, Grace?
246.
246.
This will be 247.
Oh,
247 if you
Wow.
can hear Grace in the background there.
what's the maths on that?
247.
242 different. That's a lot of
200.
episodes in between.
That's a lot. Yeah. In not massive amount of time either.
Yeah, so it was 19 you were last
19.
on, which was your build base.
Bill base. Yeah.
Build base year.
Yeah. Suzuki. Yeah.
Yes, because I remember talking about you got to go on a MotoGP bike.
I remember now.
I
Yeah.
was just like, did that not rev you up? And you were like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that was a conversation killer, right? Straight like that. Chrissy, can you come
something in it, yeah.
chat to your mate there, will you? Jesus.
Was it one of them tumbleweed moments?
Oh, mate, it was a massive one. Brad's like, that's pretty inappropriate, really. I'm like, all right, spot on. And here we are now, back several hundred episodes later.
Yeah, that's
on.
impressive. Yeah.
It's
Very
crazy.
impressive.
And quite a lot's gone on since then.
Since 19. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you remember 19? All joking aside, where were you 19? 2009.
Was you Tycho?
I was Tycho, so then you took over, actually. You moved to Tycho
Yeah.
in 20, didn't you?
Yeah, I moved. Yeah, Bill base to Tycho
Yeah,
in 20.
I was Tycho and moved to PBM in
Yeah.
20, and you went build base to
Tycho, yeah. And that was the short year, wasn't it? Because that's when
Yeah, it
COVID
was, yeah.
started, and we
So
only
the
had
six
6
round
rounds.
thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember build base now, because it was done it in round 1, and did you do the triple? Was it a triple round?
No, it was 2 races back
Two
then. Yeah,
races.
that was
Absolutely
2018.
blitzed it.
That was.
Because straight
Yeah.
away, straight off the go,
Yeah.
banged it in, and then because it was almost like the whole curse. I nicknamed it with myself, obviously not publicly, but then Kyle did it the following year, didn't he?
Silverstone, yeah.
Silverstone, he did the double
Yeah.
straight off the bat straight
Yeah.
away.
And
Thinking,
then
what?
it just went just slowly, a couple of little rises in the middle, but yeah, just peaked way too soon. That was it. Just went big and then
Yeah, I'm done.
dipped. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Oh, there's going to be a lot to talk about. The
Oh,
fact that
God.
you think you peaked then. What's happened now?
Oh.
Jesus Christ. We'll get to that on that side of things.
Yeah.
But obviously, Christian always does his homework on this side of things. And that was was TAS the first time you went on a BMW? Is that correct?
Yeah.
It would have been.
First time, yeah.
And-
I had Suzuki for 3 years, so I only ever rode a Suzuki Superbike in Bill Base, and then moved from Bill Base to Tyco BMW. Yeah, or was it Cinetic at the time? I think I went from Tyco to Cinetic that year on the BMW. For the first time. Yeah.
Who you partnered? I can't remember who you partnered up with that year.
Taylor
of course,
Mackenzie. Yeah. So we both. I think. No, Taylor obviously rode the super stock bike. I think BMW before that. But yeah, both went into Cinetic.
And then we went from the Cinetic side of things, and then you signed for OMG following year after that?
Yeah. So I done about half a year with Cinetic, and then following year with OMG, still on the BMW.
Yes.
For that year, with Kyle as a teammate, and I think Billy might have been on the stock bike
He was,
at the time, the white one.
It would have been,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, I had BMW for a couple of years, but it was just Christian, it was just a tricky bike, and
For the public out there, and mainly me as well. So what made it particularly tricky? That's such a vague question to a bike racer, you know what I mean? Something either works or it doesn't. But in your opinion, why was the BMW a trickier bike compared to Yamaha?
you never really had like a base on it, if you know what I mean. So you'd start the weekend, maybe FP1, you'd start strong, you'd feel okay on the bike, and you'd be like, right, that's the base for the weekend, we'll start with that and work with that. You go out in FP2 on the same bike and it'd be like almost unrideable, and you'd come in the pits and say, what have you changed to the bike, what's different? And they'd say, oh, what you rode in FP1. You'd be like, that's bizarre, like, because it felt like a completely different bike. And then you'll go out the next day and they'll change a few things and it'll start to get a bit better, and then the next session it'll be back to square one, and you'd be like scratching your head a little bit as if to say what was going on. But then you'd have some weekends where it would just work, like the bike would just work all weekend, and you wouldn't need to change nothing. Then another weekend you go round and round in circles trying to find something good, and it's a bit of a head scratcher. But some parts on the bike were good, like the front of the bike for me was real strong. Like I always felt really strong on the front of the bike, but it was more the rear of the bike that was the biggest problem. And back then was like the engine and the inertia into the corners, and when you picked up the throttle, it was like almost like a light switch. It was it wasn't really connected to the rear of the bike. It was strange.
Yeah, no.
Christian's nodding away.
No, I just remember. I was going to say fondly. That's not true, but yeah. So it was difficult when I was with Taz for 4 years. For the first year, the bike we had was one of the best at that point in the BMW, and then it sort of got long in the tooth for the next two. And I was we would probably served our time, but I was really waiting for the new BMW to come along. So when it did, in my 4th year, I was all excited.
Yeah.
First ride out, actually, the first round that I did, we'd only been to Kirkiston to run it in, basically. We didn't have a swing arm, we didn't have the variable flipping, whatever it had. Forget what it's got some special cam. Yeah, it was something that it had.
With the,
we didn't have
shift cam.
We didn't have shift cam. The shift cam wasn't working. Like we basically just had a stock. It wasn't a stock bike, like it was. And I did an alright, pretty good Silverstone, I thought, which was round 1. And then the more stuff we put on it, we never went any faster. It was like, but all the sort of niggles stuck there. Yeah. The engine brake thing for me was one of the most difficult, but I think that's to do with the engine configuration. I always felt like everyone else was throwing a parachute out and I'd forgotten mine. When you were hard on the brakes, it was like
almost like you pulled the clutch in a little bit.
Yeah, I almost didn't dare in a group sit in the line in a heavy brake zone. I can remember being at like Snet, just being like always half wheeling, not because I was ever going to pass anyone, but just in case they can stop quicker than I can, sort of thing. So it was tricky, but I get what you're saying. Like it was it was a good bike, and I found it quite. I think everyone that rode it, because I had a lot of teammates just that year, the year before Brad. There was a lot of injuries on the other side of my garage. So I had like 4 teammates through the year, and literally FP1, everyone went to nearly as fast as me. And every time I thought, oh man, like they're going to absolutely rinse me by the time they finish the weekend. But then never went sort of any quicker. It was like it was quite easy to find a good pace.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know if it's the same what you felt, but like to go that bit more was almost not in the locker.
Yeah.
It felt like it should be.
But it wasn't there.
Yeah. I often felt when I was riding it like, oh, I can go fast around a corner, but then I tried and I would run wide.
Yeah.
Or I can get on the throttle, but then actually when I did it, it would spin. Like it was I felt like I was riding quite within myself, but then you try and go more and it wasn't.
And it wasn't there. It was a really nice spot. When I first, probably the same with you, when I first jumped on it, I think I might have done Kirkiston or Bishop's Court or something like that. First rode it, I thought that's a mega bike. That felt good, everything felt good. But like you say, when you need that last bit, you're always stuck at that lap time. And like you say, when you put a different swing arm in it or new parts or change things, the character was still there, everything was still there. You could open the head angle, you could longer, shorter, everything like that. Some things would get better, some things would get worse, but the actual main problem was always there.
I would be strong enough to say that, because obviously we're a lot of variations down that route, but the core bike is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And it's never really put top rack on it, maybe you're going to win anything.
I'm glad.
But apart from that, it's had very little success. If you wanted in Superbike category, in stock, of course.
Yeah, stock is brilliant. Yeah.
But in Superbike category, it's had a lot of good riders through in BSB, Moto America, World Superbike, and a lot of budget.
And
So it was like, when we saw the news that Sean Muir signed Top Rack for the BM, obviously you two riding BMs at that point. What was your opinions? Because from an out like at this point, I've only ever ridden one on the roads, and that's all I've ridden on the roads. So I didn't really have a comparison between, ZX10s and blah blah blah. But what was your opinion on it, the pair of you? When Top Rack signed that, I thought,
bold, like I thought.
Bold. That's probably the best way of putting it, really.
Big move. But I think in them situations, I think for BMW to sign someone like Top Rack, there's got to be something in the background happening to improve something, because Top Rack and Keenan I wouldn't think it'd be silly enough to look at the BMW and think we can win on that now, because at the time it was probably not the best package. It wasn't the best package, but they've got such power behind them. But like Keenan and Top Rack got so much power that they could almost go to BMW and tell them exactly what they want and how they want it done. And like the first test, first thing, like the bars are higher, the seats lower, the tank's different, the pegs are like, before he's even rode it, he sits on it and he's like, no, I need to change that, because he has his weird thing with he needs the bars high and the seat low for him to even almost roll out of pit lane. Yeah, and that's the thing with BMW. Like, he went in there and said, I want this, and changed it. But that aside, it's a big move, because BMW,
they could still say no.
There was no light at the end of the tunnel as such, and there was no consistent wins, no consistent podiums. There was no. So it was big, but he obviously believes in himself that much that he can make the difference on that bike compared to everyone else, and he's sort of showed that, really, isn't he?
Well, it's funny you say about like the power and stuff that Keenan, because Keenan moves in big circles.
I'd love to have seen that contract.
And Top Rack as well, but it actually goes beyond BMW, doesn't it? Because there was a lot of like chatter about how legal the bike is. That first year that he went on it. Ducati mainly making the noises, because obviously they're the two big players in terms of fighting for the championship at the moment.
But then they've changed it again to try and.
Well, they took it back, didn't they? And then
Top Rack's gone and done what he's done again.
But how much have they took it back? He went steady for a few rounds, didn't he? And then it came back pretty quick. You never know these things, do you? You genuinely don't know. You genuinely don't know. But there you go. That's a conspiracy theory for you.
I know. Just chuck that in the pot. Everyone have a chat about it. Chat
pull the pin out of the grenade and chuck it in.
And walk away. That's it.
But no, at that point. So when you were riding it, because you did 2 years with OMG. On the BM.
1 year.
It was one year.
So right. It's fair to say your year at Tyco was Taz. Let's call it right. Taz Racing. It's so flipping nuts.
It's Tyco, isn't it? It's Tyco.
Yeah, it was Cinetic when you rode it.
You still call it Tyco.
BMW.
Do you know what? As a branding experience, they've got absolute money's worth, haven't they? It's flipping. Anyway.
They got the lot.
Again, cha-ching.
That's it, Christian, Brad, cheers lads, cha-ching, there's another one, happy days.
But obviously it was a tough year for you. You know, like you didn't bear the results that I'm sure you expected. And then, so the choice to move, but then to a rival BMW team, who actually they didn't run BMWs the year before, did they? Were they on Suzuki's the year before or not? Or had they already done a year?
I think they maybe done 1 year, because they had Hector Barbara, didn't they? And Mossy, I think.
But so what was the thought process in going, right, I'm struggling on the BM, let's go to another BM?
That is,
I can't fully remember, if I'm honest, why I did change. I don't know if it was like a feeling in the team, maybe, that something just didn't quite gel in the team, or I honestly can't remember if it, or even if they didn't want me again. I can't fully remember the end of that year, to be honest. But basically at that point there wasn't really, for me, much option to move anywhere other than either maybe stay where I was at Cinetic or move to OMG. Obviously I rode with Hawk. There was maybe potential there, but I felt like I sort of done my time at Hawk at that point. I wanted to ride a different manufacturer, be in a different team, and have a bit of a change. And yeah, nothing else was really available. I think I was trying to get on the McCams Yamaha at the time.
Who was on that seat at that point?
I think
2019,
was it? There was Brooks there in 19.
This is quite a fun game. This is
guess this a long time ago,
guess
isn't
the
it?
year. Guess the. You know what? It isn't, but it is, and there's it's mental, isn't it?
Brooks and
Ellison.
Ellison was before that,
and then because Taz went in 2020 maybe, or no, it would have been before that, wouldn't it? I think Taz was 19. But yeah, there was potential to maybe go to McCams, Yamaha at the time. But yeah, just ended up with OMG. It was a good. There was good opportunity there. Looked like a good team, well-funded team. The group of people were quite nice, and yeah, that was sort of the change. I can't fully remember why I did leave.
It was 2019 was Chasin and Racin.
Chasin and Racin, yeah.
So that must have been the first year of them two.
Yeah, because I think Brooks was not 18, wasn't he?
Yeah, it must have been.
Because Jason was there for a canny while on that side. I've got a question for you, Brad.
Yeah.
Bit of a personal, but management as a rider. Because obviously you and Shaky Burn. Now, is that fair to say Shaky Burn is your manager, or is he just a friend that helps you? Or?
Yeah, manager. Yeah,
manager.
Yeah.
So, at what point in your career did you actually think some management would help? At what point did that happen for you?
I've always had. Like someone looking after me through my whole career, basically.
Is that from
a young kid? So his name's Roger Keys, who done Fab Racing, who runs the Mini Moto Championship for the youngsters. He's always sort of looked after me as a kid, helped me management side a little bit in, like when I done Red Bull Rookies and 125s and bits like that. He'd always sort of help me through that, but it got to a point where I maybe needed a change in management as well. He was quite old, and maybe didn't understand the new generation of motorcycle racing as much as before. And
which is a fair comment.
And sometimes you just need like fresh eyes maybe, and someone who's more current in the championship and in racing. So yeah, obviously Shane unfortunately had his accident in 2018. Stopped racing, and then come to me middle of 2019 it was, and said, would you like me to take over your management and work for you, sort of thing. And I said for me that'd be a no-brainer, because he's sort of, he knows everyone, talks to everyone, got good contacts, and off the side of management he's quite switched on a motorbike as well, and that side of things he helps me a lot off the track, but also sorts of deals and like speaks on my behalf. So it was a no-brainer move. It was a good start, fresh start, and then straight away he got to work and got me the deal with Cinetic, because I said to him I wanted to change. I wanted to get out, not because I didn't like the team. I love Talk, brilliant team, brilliant family. Gave me the opportunity to move into Superbike, so I appreciated everything they'd done for me. But as a youngster, I needed something fresh, something to sort of have a change of manufacturer, change of team, and sort of go again.
Because a lot of this sport begins off as like, do I dare say, dad and lad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, why weren't your parents, if you don't mind me asking, why weren't your parents more in that management role? Because I personally think, literally listening to that, I think that's a great move, having a third party who's completely outside the loop. It's not, the pushy parent syndrome or anything like that, going this and this and this. When did that, was that just straight away as a family decision going, let's get some management?
Yeah, no, we didn't. Yeah.
Or did it just happen? You with the first guy, did it sort of just organically happen? I think started helping you out.
Yeah, just basically started helping me out as a young kid.
There wasn't like a conversation of management.
Never sort of like management. It was like, we'll help him out, and he always took. Obviously, mum and dad have done everything for me, supported me as that side of things and racing, and but yeah, Roger, my first manager, would just help me talk to people, get me maybe helmet deals, levers, and that's. I think you need people in the circle in the racing industry to sort of be recognised to take it seriously. So like the parents, like mum and dad, wouldn't be able to go to Shark or Arrow, and sort of try and get a deal because they'd be like,
hello, son.
Brad's dad. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that was always
same accent, but shake your burn. It works.
Trouble is, they'd go, he's going to be a British champion one day, and they go, oh, we've heard this before, except in this instance.
It's actually true, yeah.
Chinese, you're flicking over the channel.
Not another one.
Yeah, exactly.
We missed that one. No, but
the management thing is an interesting concept. I don't think many riders in the UK have managers or that much help, do they?
No, it's not not as much. A lot of people you speak to in BSB don't really have managers, do they? No. They're not. It's more of like I don't know. It's a lot in World Championship and MotoGP and that sort of side. But I think BSB you can sort of maybe get away with it a little bit, maybe not having a manager because it's a small community. I think everyone knows everyone. As a rider, you could walk down a garage and talk to a team and talk to a manager, and you can approach them and have a chat in the back of the truck and walk out. But in World Championship, it's a lot bigger, it's a lot more professional, there's a lot more to sort of go to. Like, for example, you could go and walk in and speak to Wilf. He's a team owner, he's a manager, he's this, that and the other, speak to him. But if you walked into BMW in World Championship, he's then got to speak to him, and then he's got to speak to him, and that, and it all goes in a big circle. And I think riders, like for me, it's all I do is turn up, race the bike, go home. Like, obviously there's a lot more to it, but in the basic terms, that's it. So I ring Shane, I'm like, right, I need some more boots for the next round. He's like, right, I'll get on today and easy. I need a helmet, he'll go and sort that. Like, it's just... So do
you find that like a really big help, the fact you can almost switch off to all the white noise stuff and just be like, right,
turn up and do that, and I don't have to stress about the sort of the little things. I just concentrate on what I need to do.
Do you think it would elevate the sport if everyone had a manager at BSB level? That's a question to both of you. It's that concept is very good. You know, you've got people speaking on that point. You know, would the bar be raised? I mean, in everything.
My opinion is, I think a lot of team owners, managers, don't necessarily like having riders have managers because often the riders are a bit green, so they can't. Not that they take advantage, but they can't sort of like. Do you know what I mean?
You lose out potential bit of leverage.
But the other thing is a rider manager, I would say, is almost always paid on a percentage of what they bring in. Right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So actually, from a rider's point of view, and I'm sure it's happened in other scenarios, and from a team's point of view, the team knows that manager is trying to get the most financial reward. Because they're going to get their percentage.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
And then also, I guess, as a rider, you've got to ensure that your manager is doing what's right by your career, not just go, oh, well, that scooter team has offered you £1 million.
Yeah.
But do you can't?
I'm being hypothetical.
I'm being hypothetical here right now.
I want that. No,
we're all going scooter racing.
I will share the management between you. If you two go and go, I'm Christian, that's Brad, we want him.
Yeah, completely hypothetically, right? Oh, been on to Tar.C, but you have to ride for free. But I've took the £1 million offer off of Lambretta to go and race it now.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to make sure that they're in the best interests. Yeah. So it's a difficult one. But also in the UK, they don't think the money's enough. That there's not enough cream off the top for managers to get involved. Whereas in World Superbike and MotoGP, there's enough cream that it's worth their while to get involved. So I think that's also the difference.
Yeah, for sure.
But then, like, having a manager of like shaky, but like you say, the man can pedal a bike.
Well, yeah, so that's worth its weight in gold.
That's got to be, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's got to be.
And you've obviously got that trust element between you that you talk, obviously, what's the right career path, and it's not just numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is an interesting concept. I had a manager for about a week and then didn't seem to do anything, and then
didn't do nothing in a week. He's out.
He regrets it now because of the boots comment. Just like 2 a.m, I'm paying this man. 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I need odd
new
socks.
boots.
I want odd socks now.
That's it,
Go drop off these on.
Yeah. No, I don't actually know who's got a manager in there.
No, not many. There is people with helpers in there, and there is people who put feelers out. I'd say the last one that from the UK that went is obviously now Ryan, who's moved on to Vickers, who's moved on to World Superbike, and that probably really helped him in that pursuit. I would say. So you can say it worked in that respect. Absolutely, almost without doubt.
Because here's the question, obviously, and I like this, having two BSB riders in the hot seat. It's class. But when do conversations normally start? For Shaky, is the conversations already beginning? You know what, or is it literally from round one? Do you say, "Go right, we better get next year in place"? It's
it's tricky. It seems to be earlier and earlier, like every year, for some bizarre reason. Sort of mid-season on, do you sort of,
because from the outside world it looks like it's a gentleman's sport, do I dare say it's like that, but the season's over, everyone's going to have the Christmas pudding and then they're going to have a chat about next year, and you think, actually, hold on, we're just scratching the surface. It's like, Jesus, one's rolled out and the next bloke's in going,
exactly,
I could have his job. It's bloody ruthless on that side.
It does start a lot earlier now for sure, but mid-season, I think you have to have a good start to a year to get the momentum going, but you almost as a team manager maybe not look at the first two rounds, because somebody can have a real good first two rounds and then dip off a little bit and then maybe come back strong mid-round and then towards the end of the year. But deals are normally, it's a lot later in BSB for sure than it is in any other championship. Like some
in comparison
some
to
can
Worlds,
be done in November, some December, some even later than that or earlier than that. But in Worlds, I think MotoGP's done super early always, and then sort of that. Then once that's almost done and dusted, then it's done down to World Superbikes. They sort their job out, and then we're sort of always a little bit last. But the one thing I always find strange in BSB is there's never really any more than a year deal.
I was just about to say, we don't have multi-year contracts.
No.
Do you know what? Actually, was it
Kyle had a 2 year? Alan was a bit of a 2 year deal kind of man, wasn't he?
Yeah, sort of.
I've had a few where you go, I'd really love a 2 year contract, because you just like to get your feet under the table, and as a rider get that what's it, and they'll go, well, I've given you a 2 year contract, and you go, no, you haven't. It's a year with an option, and the option is if I do shit, you're not going to take me on. That's clearly not a 2 year option. That 2 year deal. That's just. That's the same as not having the second page. We don't.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't.
There are 2 pages, but I'm keeping that page.
Yeah, we don't need that second page. It's like,
Jesus wept.
I know you're going to rip that up if I don't do very well.
So going back to that point though, would it be better going and having the 2 guaranteed 2?
Yeah, I think it's strange, isn't it? If you sign with a team that you're happy with, or you're going to do well, but it's maybe not the team you wanted, you'd think, maybe a 1 year deal would be good, because if I do that 1 year and do really well, then I might have an option to get to the top team. But if you're already in the top team, then you think, I'd like to stay here. I'd like to stay here for 2 years and be secure for 2 years, and maybe the first year might not go to plan. Then at least I know I've got a second year. But it's always like you do 1 year, you think, right, I need a good start to this year, so then I've got to ride for next year. And you always, I find, you have a strange feeling in motorcycle racing in general, that you're never fully secure. You never feel secure. Like a job you got, like if you're a builder or bricklayer or something like that, you think, well, I'll just keep laying bricks for the next 20 years, I'm done. But racing's so stressful in that way that your job's never certain. We'll probably touch on it later, but even when you sign a contract and everything's there and you're about to go testing, the plug's pulled, and you think, shit, that is the reality of this racing life. Is it's not, you're never fully certain and never secure.
Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, it's the best and worst job going. Yeah, you've got no job security going.
No, and even things in life, like if you do well in motorcycle racing, then you can earn a few quid and do all right, and maybe not have another job. But in that respect, like going to get a mortgage or something like that, it's even harder, because the job you got is not secure, and if you get injured, you can't work, which you don't get paid. So little things like that I remember applying for a mortgage, and they were looking, thinking, okay, you earn this amount, but what if you have an accident? then you don't get paid. And you're like,
It's not going to happen, sweetheart.
it's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not. Don't worry about that. Just
I'm not here for negativity.
Yeah,
Can you just sign the mortgage, please?
Yeah, you think, actually, there's a lot in the background. It's quite difficult to do. Yeah, that's just adult life, isn't it?
I tell you, you're gonna have to change your contracts from now on. Advance payment. You know what I mean? You want your year's wage on day
upfront.
one, and go, look, I need a mortgage. I've got families to feed.
I think you should have like your base salary. It should be in black and white, bold base salary, and underneath danger money. Like you should have that's your salary, and then that's on top for danger money, like for what you do every weekend. Should be a little bit extra on top.
And if you ride a bit more crazy, do you get more?
You get a little bit more, yeah.
lap leading bonuses like that. But imagine you boys.
Lap leading
Jesus.
bonuses, yeah.
That would be fantastic.
I always, with regards to like talking to teams for the following year, I like I said, I had a manager for a week and then didn't. But then I always did that thing where you like got to wait for a good weekend.
Yeah.
Which some years has been a long old year of waiting to try and pick your point, don't you, to try and
do something good.
But it does start off quite early. It's a bit like sometimes you notice that you're catching a team owner or manager's eye. You sort of spot each other across the paddock, sort of thing, and you have this like weird across the bar type thing going on, don't you?
Yeah.
And you catch each other doing it. It's weird. You almost know that a conversation is going to happen before the conversation happens.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
100%.
So then on to 2021, BMW again, but different team.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, no, it's similar sort of issues, but we've sort of maybe done a little bit more with the bike in 21. I felt a little bit more free to do changes to the bike in 21. I think Cinetic was more of a factory team, so it's almost like the bike was the bike and maybe a little bit restricted of what you could do, but OMG were open to change things, had a different tank pad, different I think same suspension, but yeah, it felt like I could do a little bit more and be more open with things.
Have you had a solo year at this point? I mean, like as a team, was Cinetic a one rider team or did you have a team?
2 rider, yeah.
So at this point, you've come straight into Superbikes is 2 rider, 2 rider, 2 rider, 2 rider.
Yeah, well, sort of like my first year in Superbike, I was in the Bill-based team with myself on the Superbike and Alex Olsen on the stock bike, alongside the other team, but we was always in separate garages.
Got you.
So that was
was that the year when it was like a third bike, wasn't it?
a third bike on the grid, so that was sort of a single year, but with sort of teammates.
And so when you went to the OMG side of things, who was your teammate there? I think we discussed this prior.
It's Kyle.
So
Kyle Taylor McKenzie in 2020 in Cinetic, and then Kyle in 21-22.
So who was it? Like, who was your most useful teammate up to this point then?
Useful.
Well, that sounds massively degrading. I'm sorry to all the other riders at this point who have worked really hard.
I want to know what class is being useful.
No. I mean, as far as data bashing, as far as who's got the most similar setup, who's actually more relatable. See, Grace, because she's got a sense of humour, won't edit this to make me sound more clever. We're just going to keep the bullshit comment in. Who's actually useful in this game? You know what I mean? I want to name a cracker.
Don't know. I think maybe Kyle would probably be the closest. I mean, riding style wise, the way we ride is quite similar. What we need from the bike is very similar, but in some ways we always had something different on the settings. So I'd run the bike quite a bit different to how Kyle would, but we'd almost ride the same.
Yeah. Very, do I dare say, European more. Red Bull rookie. Well,
yeah, more sweeping and that sort of
roll
style.
on the front.
Roll on the front, use the front tyre. But back then, I know Kyle's changed a lot now, but back then he was always using the 2 front. He would never use the 1 front because he didn't like the way it felt, whereas I was always the opposite. I'd always use the 1 front and never use the 2, because for my sort of style, I'd brake and then release and let the front steer, and if I didn't have the edge grip of a 1 front, it wouldn't feel as good. So that's maybe why our settings were quite a bit different at that point, but feedback wise we was always needing the same from the bike. So he's probably the most relatable as teammates.
Just as far as when you were talking about OMG and being able to change the bikes, it would have been interesting being in the back of that garage going seat pad, peg height, how quickly who was making a bigger change than who was the more of a driving force at that point? You or Kyle?
Both similar. We didn't sort of. They wouldn't follow one person's direction. They'd go in separate directions. So if I wanted a completely different seat or foot pegs, then they'd put that on mine. And if Kyle wanted that, then he would have that sort of thing. So we all both went our different. Obviously, you can't change a lot on the bike anyway. It's only rider position, and bolted a tank pad on, which I liked, and I don't think Kyle liked. So maybe it's because I'm a bit taller, a bit easier for me. But yeah, we didn't change massive amounts with the bike, but. The comments were always the same. I had some real good strong rounds, like some rounds I was top 3 most weekends, and then others I was useless, like absolutely useless for no reason whatsoever. But another strange thing, it was Donington. I don't know if you remember the wet race at Donington in 21.
When it was horrendously slippy.
Yeah, Kyle was finished second, I think.
Yes, he was. Me and him was battling. I don't know if he beat me to the box or one way round or the other. But
he was there, and I was like a minute 10 behind in the race on identical bikes.
A minute 10.
Honestly, I was like horrendously slow, and he was on the box, but we was on the same package.
Yeah.
So in ways like that, it was strange.
I just love how you're just sitting there smiling about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was terrible.
Honestly, it's just when you come in, and you're like, wow, that was bad. Like, that was you're almost better off at least like having a dig and crashing than finishing that far behind. But I just some days in the wet, they just some happen like that. You have no feeling, no grip. You try and push, you spin up. You have moments, and you're like, right, I'm going to be upside down in a minute. So let's just try and stay on. And I did stay on, but miles behind. Absolutely miles behind. Most of the race, I'd come onto the back straight, I'd spin out the back straight, and I'd see you boys coming down the last corners, kind of start finish straight. I still had foggy S's, the hairpin, back up and back down. That's how bad it was. But then in the dry, it was good. It was a good weekend. So must just be me. Yeah.
You got 1 or 2 podiums that year, didn't you? You put it on the box a couple of times.
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, I went in Donington in the dry a couple of times, and was close to doing top 6, top 8. But yeah, a couple of times it'd be really good. You could fight for a podium. But yeah, it was funny. Midway through that year, I wanted to stay with OMG because I wanted almost like a bit of what's the word when continuity. Yeah, I wanted to stay with a team, same crew chief, same team, like because I've been with obviously Cinetic, Suzuki for a bit, so I wanted to stay in there and try and make it work. And then it was actually Shane who spoke to me. He said, "What do you reckon about running Yamahas?" And I said, "Well, I'd love to. Like, I think it'd be like a good idea." He said, "Right, I'll go and have a meeting with Paul."
And at this point, you've never sat on a Yamaha?
No, never even sat on one, rode one.
And you were solely basing on, I want to ride that bike because of what reason?
I think
looking at other results of other riders.
Looking at results. The Yamaha's always been like a rider friendly bike. Style wise, would suit me down to the ground.
Have you ever been disappointed with a bike? No, that's a good sign, by the way. You don't have to answer that, by the way.
I have, for sure. And I would say,
you don't have to
we touched on it before, that was the first iteration of that BMW I was. There's other bikes for sure that have been as well, but just because that's old, I can talk about it. It was something that I expected to be the magic bullet for me that was going to elevate my career, because it was this new big thing. It was the freshest thing, and it wasn't. So it was, don't get me wrong, I'm not bad-mouthing the bike. It was a fantastic bike. It just, in the BSB trim, and it wasn't even what I'd build it up to be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was a disappointment for me, because I'd gone, I'm going to win everything on this, and I didn't. So
I think that word disappointment's well, like just yourself. It's like the V2 this year. I love my V2, but my God, it's the hardest I've worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just trying to find in that ballpark. You know, I'd be like, beginning of the year, I bought a CBR 600, and everyone goes, best bike you'll ever ride. You think, bollocks, it's just a bike. I go, oh my God, this thing's fucking but then I'm trying to turn the V2 into the CBR, and you're thinking them rewarding moments when you actually get something. Go, I fixed something.
Yeah.
And it's funny how your one of your most disappointing was like probably the favourite bike one of my favourite bikes is my V2 that I bought last year, whatever, because it was ace.
Oh no, but I love it. Like, you know, when you look at a bike, it's like looking at a fit dirty thing. I don't care if she makes me a sandwich or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just like, I still want
But
it.
that's exactly it.
It's just
Everyone's different. What's disappointing to someone is not to the other one, is it?
I think disappointment is the wrong word, but you know when you think, oh God, I can't wait to have a go on that. Like,
You roll down.
It's great there, but I want it better there, and you know, it's that kind of thing. But then see the CB, like same thing, every bike has its own fault. It's like the Honda, the 600, it's just not quick enough. Everyone rides CBR 600s if they were quicker.
Because the chassis are good on them, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've always been that, like the old style R6 back in the day, wasn't it? That was always a real good bike.
But even like going back, like, you know, when you're looking at a bike, so you're on the BMW at this point, you know, and you're looking at the Yamaha, you lads at that position get to see what another bike can do up close and personal. Is that a lot of a gauge for you?
Yeah.
When you're like going, oh, I'm trying to do this, but then that thing can do that.
Yeah, massively. Yeah, your bike will always have strong points. Even if it's not the fastest out there, you might be good in a braking zone, which is good, but it's no good if you can't get out of the corners and get close enough to overtake or make the time up. But when you're in a race situation, especially because if you do a lot of laps in practice and qualifying, you do a bit on your own, you think, oh, I don't feel too bad, I'm all right. And then you get into a race, you know, actually I'm fucking miles away because they can do that and I can't do that, and maybe I should have done a little bit more of that. And especially in races where you'll see it, you're behind someone, you're pushing on, you'll get to the middle of the corner. BMW was probably the most difficult, where you would struggle to stop, but you'd also get into the middle of the corner, open the throttle, and the thing would just spin, and it would spin, and the bike in front of you would just go broop, and you're like, all right, okay, and then you think, right, I'm a bit stuck now because I can't brake late because I can't stop it. So then you're in like a little vicious circle at that point. But it's not until you're in a race situation that you understand the strengths and the weaknesses of your own bike and maybe where you need to find that little improvement.
Yeah. And so when the decision I'm actually...
just on that one, that's where it's... Obviously, the rule makers are trying to make everything as level as they can. To make all the bikes do the same lap time, they're doing very well. And that's quite... That's quite... Not easy, I'm not saying that's easy, but like, that's fine. But what the riders see on ground level, it's very different to make all the bikes do the same lap time, but it's very difficult to be able to make them be able to race against each other. I mean, if you take it back to the old school, you go against the old like the Roberts, whatever it was, the V-twin versus the V4s and stuff and all that sort of thing, where put it round Philip Island on its own and they'll put it on pole or you know, Donington or whatever, get it in a race and he'll be last by the end of lap 3 because every single straight they get overtaken, can't run their sweeping lines, get held up. So I'm not talking those sort of exaggerations, but certainly those differences do happen. You know, if you've got a fast bike that stops well, if it doesn't go around corners, more or less it's still raceable.
You're more safe, aren't you?
Whereas if you've got a corner that needs a lot of corner speed and not that fast, if you've got someone in front of you that's not doing that, that's really hard. And certain bikes ride better with certain other manufacturers and don't ride well with other manufacturers.
No wonder you boys don't sleep well at night. You know what I mean?
I know. Sorry to bore you with that, but like, genuinely, it's like it's quite an interesting concept to make the rules so that all the bikes do the same lap time. Pretty much all the bikes do the same lap time. But to race against each other, that's a very different kettle of fish. And do you know what? Even if you watched it on TV, you can hardly see these different gaps that open up and close. I'll come in and go, oh my God, such a body gaps me here. And I'll watch it back on TV and go, it was more than that.
It's just felt, it does though, doesn't it? You follow behind someone and they go, brook, you're like, that's a joke, that is. And you watch the race back and you're like, actually, I'm doing the same to him when he's behind me, so maybe it's not too bad.
Do you watch your own races back?
Yeah.
Like, do you get what day do you two watch BSB?
Depends on how good the weekend's gone.
Okay, fairly regular,
and not very often.
It might be a Monday morning, or it might have to wait a week and.
Yeah, but like,
I haven't watched a race back in 3 years.
You bad bastard.
Leave that aside.
No, but like, all joking aside, because obviously you come, like, do you focus more
I'm
on
laughing at me on
TSL?
jokes.
I know, it's the first sign of insanity that, you know, I've been doing that for years. Laughing at your own shit crack, it's going to be terrible, isn't it? But, like, do you focus on a night? We will go back to the shaky burn Yamaha, I swear to God.
Yeah.
We're putting a pin in that for now, but, like, you know, when you come back from a race and you go back and retire, like, do you focus a lot on TSL, or do you, like, are you very chilled as a, like, rider? Do you just... what do you do after? You're answering this as well, by the way, Christian. You know, what do you do? Races parked up, happy days. What do you do?
Not so much after, well, maybe a little bit after the races, but more practice and qualifying.
Let's talk. That's better, actually.
Like
Practice
sectors,
qualifying.
and I'd always look at sectors, because you're always going to have a sector where you're strong, and you always have a weak sector, and always try and work on that weak sector throughout the weekend, because you'll have your strong sector and you'll find yourself trying to improve on that strong sector and not try and improve on the weak sector. But then you've got to find out why you're slower in that sector. Is it line? Is it setup of the bike? Is it something you need to change? So that for me is the most important. Find the weakest sector and try to work on that. But like we were saying earlier with the bike differences, you might feel like you're struggling in a sector. You come in, you think, I'm really struggling in sector 3. I feel like I'm losing a bit of time. You'll get into the race, and you'll get into that sector 3, and you'll actually be really strong there. And you'll be like, right, that's a bit strange, but actually I feel weaker in sector 1 where I've actually felt the strongest. So it's a bit of like a head ball. But no matter what you do in races, in qualifying, in practice, lap times, race runs, on your tyres, as soon as you get into the race, everything's different. Like, you're in a battle, that's when you find the strong points of your bike or the weak points of your bike, or how you're riding the bike. And especially if you're following someone on the same bike and they're maybe 0.2, 0.3 quicker in one sector than you are, but they're on identical bikes to you. So there must be something that line-wise you're doing different, or the way you're approaching it.
Are you very self-critical as a rider? Do you beat yourself up?
Not massively, but I think everyone is in a little bit. I think everyone expects a lot more from themselves maybe than maybe you should at times, because it's hard. It's a hard game, and it's not.
But if you,
it's not easy.
Let's put it lightly.
Let's say you were following another Yam, and they did something better. Would your initial mindset be, because the bikes are identical, but they're not identical, are they? Obviously.
Yeah.
Would your initial mindset be, I need to find something in that area, or we can improve the package in that area?
It'd always be me first. I'd always try and do something myself differently, because you can come in and change small things on the bike. Like, you could come in and put a couple of turns of period on, or drop the forks through 2 mil, or do something like that and make a change. But if you're out on track, instead of coming in, stay out there and, I don't know, brake a bit earlier, release the brake a bit earlier, hold the brake on a little bit more, move your weight back, move your weight forward. Like, in them ways, at least then you can come into the crew chief and say, right, I went into this corner, I held the brake on a little bit longer into the corner, and the bike felt a lot better. So that then would give you an understanding of the direction you need to go. If you went in and released the brake and it went wide, or then you put more body weight and it started turning, like little things like that you can do while you're out on track, whilst getting laps, whilst understanding, because you can go 2 laps and say, oh, the bike don't turn, and the crew chief will be like, right, okay, like, but the more information you give him, the more idea you give him, the better it's going to be, and the easier and the quicker you can solve that problem. So I always try and work on myself a bit more than changing the bike, because the bike's got a good enough base. The lap time will probably come more from me changing myself than it will going up, down, forward, backwards, and getting lost. Like, I always go faster riding the same bike than I do riding the bike that I change all the time. So there's
No. I like, because obviously, you know, at the beginning of the year, that like, but we went to that test, and it was like, what was great to see was your race distance test, like race distance testing. I don't know if that's the right terminology you use, but like, you weren't chucking tyres on it.
No,
you're not that rider, but you would go out and go bang, 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 thinking, is he staying out there till he runs out of fuel? You do the same thing. No, but then that explains why it's
Yeah, it's super important because you go out and do 2 or 3 laps in, 2 or 3 laps in, 2 or 3 laps in, and then you wake up Saturday, you do qualifying 2 laps in, and then the afternoon you got a 20-lap race. And you think, I've only done 3 laps all weekend, so you need to at least understand, at least do a few.
Yeah.
Not race runs, because nobody in BSB really does 20-lap race runs. You haven't really got enough time, haven't got enough tyres, but at least you sort of have an idea of what the bike's going to feel like after 20 laps, up to 20 laps on 20-lap tyres when the fuel's dropped, because the bike feels a lot different when the full fuel tank to the empty fuel tank. Yes,
because a lot of people that listen to the show, listen to the show aren't all racers. Far from it. You know, like the majority are like people just watch it and go, well, what's going on? I enjoy it. Like, you know what I mean? I see it firsthand, but I still enjoy listening to it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no, it is good. But you get a lot of information. I always find the first race is always important as well, because once you've done that first race, you then have a lot of data, a lot of information on the bike at that time, with them tyres, with that fuel load, to then move into Sunday and make some improvements, because you might think, the bike was mint at the start of the race, but towards the end of the race it wasn't so good. So you'd like to think that with a bit more fuel in the bike, with a bit more weight on the front of the bike, it was better. So maybe that's something you can improve for the second half of the race in the morning. So yeah, it's just never stop. And we're talking like half a second, not even half a second, like if you can find 0.1 a lap, it's a massive
gold.
Massive, yeah, it is a massive step. Yeah.
It is, isn't it? It is.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
the peacocking like that 0.2.
The good that I like TSL, because the thing I focus on a race weekend through TSL is you can see the timesheet. It often looks very different if you look at how many times they've done certain lap times. BSB has a lot of extremely talented riders, and almost all of them can put at least 1 lap in. But then, if you look through FP1, FP2, it's really telling who's actually got the genuine pace. That's not to say some of them that have only stuck 1 in can't hang on, but you really understand pretty quickly who's got the. They've done it once and they've done it twice and 3 times and 4 times, whereas sometimes you get one that's just gone bang and then a list of empties thereafter.
Oh,
it's interesting.
It is, isn't it? It's a hell of a
game. The timesheet doesn't lie. That's the thing.
No, that's it. Yeah.
But the face value one does. You know, the who's finished where in FP1 and FP2 doesn't tell the full story. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
Class. I tell you what, and by the way, for people listening, we are at Thruxton, so the lap time game here is on point.
Yeah.
You can go out and put a scary lap time. I remember sitting here with Chrissy, and we weren't on air or anything like that, and he goes, well, anyone can lead, for a few laps around here and go away with it. And I'm like, mate, you should exactly do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, hold on. You've got sponsors to impress. And goes, well, no, but you just look like a dick. Look like a dick. Go on. I will buy you that rear tyre. Even though I can't afford one myself, I'm like, go out.
Lead the race.
For 5 laps.
I always wanted to do that, I always wanted to, lead.
Do it tomorrow. Look, we won't air this show. Go on, just for the crack. Just for the crack.
I always wanted to lead an Olympic marathon for 50 metres.
Just
from the gun, just bang.
Yeah.
Like a marathon, me, Olympics.
Get the photo on the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The best thing is though, people in motorcycle racing would go, he's going to win this. He's one of the most athletically fit people. People having a clue about that.
No, I definitely wouldn't.
Christian just keels our way.
100 metres after the start.
It was worth it, son. Proud of you. Absolutely proud of you.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, I'm sorry. This is typical me diverting off. But let's go back to Shaky. So it was actually Shaky that brought the Yamaha idea forward.
Yeah. I think from what I understand, the conversations were made between Shane and Paul and Alan, and said, I think they were they wanted to change manufacturer maybe at the time anyway from BMW. So he said, what about Yamaha? Maybe change to Yamaha, and got them thinking, and a few weeks went by, and then all of a sudden they sort of said, right, we'll get 2 Yamahas off McCam's, basically straight from brands. Taz's one was kept because he was champion, but Jason had a bike, so basically Jason's bike got shipped down to OMG. We went straight to Cartagena at the end of 21. And basically had 2 days riding. Well, no, we didn't have 2 days. We had 3 days on track, but we was only allowed 1 day on the bike. I don't know if it's up to mileage or couldn't do enough laps on it, but we basically got half a day each pretty much on the Yam just to have a shakedown and see.
Were you
what it
sharing
was
a
like.
bike then?
We were sharing a bike, yeah. So yeah, that's all. It sort of come quickly.
And because he's that humble, he doesn't want to mention it, but he actually brought the circuit lap record. I think it was like spray painted in the side of it. That was that year, wasn't it?
Yeah, 21. Yeah.
So he didn't want to mention it, but it was the most southern Margate South End graffiti work.
That wasn't me who done that.
Half a day on
Kyle done that.
That was kind of,
Yeah, they said, "Let's spray it on the wall." I said, "No, I don't want it on the wall. Like, I don't want that." Alan was like, "Yeah, get it on the wall." Carl's like, "I'll do it." Of course you would, yeah. Boom, yeah, sprayed it on there.
that was class.
But yeah, it was just
Because it was a bit of cat amongst the pigeons at that point. You know, it was good. You know what I mean? It talked about, you know, the psychological game, you know, and it was just like...
But that initial feeling, like, you've done half a day, you've broke the circuit superbike lap record.
yeah.
Like, you must have gone home pretty happy.
Oh, I was made up, yeah. It was like... Karting is a difficult track, isn't it? It's really difficult. It's hard on the rear tyre. You don't get many like good laps at the start to get a real good feeling, because after 5 or 6 laps it spins, it moves, it's tricky. So we just basically done a few runs each, like 10 laps each, being 10 laps, and then just done like a few runs and just come in pit lane. I was like, that thing's just unbelievable. Everything felt right. Everything done everything. Even when the tyre dropped off, it still worked quite well. And it was almost everything that I've always wanted from a bike, or like needed from a bike, feeling wise, was there. But yeah, it was a good test. I felt super happy.
I bet you were happy. Imagine Paul and Alan after building pain, especially Alan paying for it, going like that. God, I hope he bloody likes it.
It was a tricky thing because we both got a tyre at the end, and it's typical, like when you get to an end of a test or an end of a meeting or whatever, and they say, right, you got a tyre each, go and put a lap time in. And he's like, I don't really, because they had one bike, a few people from McCams were there to help set it all up and basically show it all worked and started up and bits. And they said, right, there's a tyre each. And I think, well, did we get 2 tyres? Might have been even 2.
Who went first?
I went first.
Oh, the pressure's on, not the high side, the shit.
Yeah, I think I went first. And they said, here's a tyre, go out and do a lap time. And I remember just coming out and I thought, you know what? I'm going to fucking have this. I thought, I'm just going to, it's either going to be good or really bad. And
or Kyle's not getting a go.
Or Kyle's not having a go, yeah. And just absolutely.
Sorry.
You have some days like that where you just like, do you know what? Why not? Like end of the year, I feel good. Like, just fucking let's have a go. And Joe Karting is you go out of turn 2, that hairpin, then you got that chicane. I went left, right through there, and just as I got to the right, I just went boom, 100% throttle, and the thing just gripped and gripped all the way around. And I thought, we're on now. The grip was unbelievable. I done 2 laps, done a 31.7 the first lap, 32.2 or 32.4 the second lap, come in, and they're all like, what lap time did you do? We got you as a 32.2 or 32.4. I was like, 31.7. I was like, what? And then Carl just looked at me, he was like, well, now I've got to fucking go out and do it. So then he's obviously got his new tyre in, and he's going out thinking, oh no, I've got like the lap times on the dash, so he's got a reference. So then he had to go out and do a lap time as well. But yeah, it was a good test. The team were made up, and it just felt right. Everything felt right. And
you just rolled into that season just going, was that the most chilled out you've ever been, or was it actually, did you go into that winter thinking, oh fuck, we've actually got a mint bike now? You know, was it a different kind of pressure, or do you not? Yeah. Looking at you now, you don't look like you've appeased the pressure.
Maybe a little bit of expectation. Not from the team really, but just from yourself. Almost when you get something like an opportunity like that, and the bike that's just won the championship, there's no excuses. There's nowhere to hide. Yes. The bike's just won the championship. It's won however many races. The likelihood is they're going to fight for the championship again this year. So if you don't win on it or don't do well, then clearly it's you and not the bike sort of thing. So there was a little bit of that at the start of the year, but I'm quite a chilled person anyway. I'm quite relaxed. Just thought, well, I'll just roll out and do the best I can and give every race everything I've got. And yeah, just felt confident, felt comfortable straight away at the first race. Was annoyed at myself at Silverstone for crashing in race 2 out of the lead with like 6 laps to go or something like that. That really frustrated me, and from that point I was like, that sort of maybe kicked me into gear a bit. Had a different mentality, and just from there.
In what sense? Was it more think about points rather than trying to win every race? Or?
At that point I didn't think about the championship once, and I didn't think about it all year. That was the weird thing. I didn't think about the championship at all. I just thought about, because of, you know what it's like when you had a couple of difficult years of difficult bikes, difficult teams. Once you get in a good team that's a good environment, the bike's working, everything's there, you're just enjoying racing. You're just enjoying and having fun and getting that love back for the sport that you've missed for the last few years. So regardless of whether I won the championship or not, I was happy. I was in a good place. I was fighting at the front. I was fighting for wins, and that was so good to have that feeling back.
Yeah.
And yeah, whether I won the championship or not at that year, honestly, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to win the championship because I knew how strong everyone else was. But yeah,
you know, at that point, what were you thinking about as far as your future? Were you thinking about Worlds? Were you thinking about a future in BSB?
I've always, that point, I've always had as a young kid, I've always dreamt of being in MotoGP as a youngster, but the paths now to get there are super, super difficult. So
you have to be his son's age.
Winning
or younger.
3 races.
Even 3.
Yeah.
or a Spanish passport.
Yeah.
Or something like
Did you hear the disappointment? My son's not winning MotoGP races. So Toby, I'm upset, son.
Yeah. You're not getting that tractor now.
Yeah.
It's going back.
You're not getting a John Deere, you're getting a case.
Yeah.
Oh, so, class, man.
Yeah, no, I've always just wanted to be. Even now, I want to be world champion. Like that's like the top of it, of where you can go, whether it's World Superbikes or World Supersport or MotoGP. Like world champion, you can't. There's nothing above that, if you know what I mean. You'd go to the gala, you'd have like a little medal.
Doing all this for go for a party.
Exactly that, yeah.
Southerners.
Yeah, anything for a free drink.
But obviously the end goal must have been to win the British Championship in that year.
Yeah.
But in a way, the way you talk about it, it's almost like the championship came just as a byproduct of having a good year in terms of enjoying it, and it almost wasn't the end goal because you weren't thinking about it. Of course, it was the end goal. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just happened.
Yeah. No, I was just happy. I just had that, because racing can get quite heavy sometimes, especially when you're signed to a team or signed somewhere and you're expected to get results, you don't get results. It gets a lot, and then because you start getting paid, you start getting a wage, and sponsors expect you to get results, and you're not performing, and from what was fun then turns into a job that's difficult. And I got the feeling back in 22 that I was just out riding my bike. I was happy. I was in a good place. It almost brought back memories of being a young kid, of why I started racing in the first place, of just doing it for the love of the sport and enjoying it. And I've tried to carry that on from 22, because I learned a lot in myself that year, away from racing, that helped me finish that year, and even going into the tough years in World Championship as well. But I think the most important thing is to enjoy racing and have fun, and that's what I did in 22. Put all the bullshit aside and the pressure aside and expectations aside, I had a good fun year just riding my bike. Yeah.
I tell you what,
not all the like obviously listeners, majority of the listeners go, it's the job of a lifetime, and trust me, I'm not knocking it down, but nobody starts riding bikes because they're gonna
become pro.
Yeah.
You all ride bikes because you love it.
Yeah.
In a way, actually, becoming pro, don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but it takes away a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
You actually lose your hobby for the majority. So yeah, what Brad's saying there about enjoying it, that's awesome to hear, because everyone's trying their knackers off, whether they finish first or last. They're absolutely trying to the nth degree.
Yeah.
So it's hard when it's hard years. It is flipping difficult. And it's heavy, like you say. There's a weight of expectation and all that sort of thing. So the lifting the crown, did that? How did that feel for you as a person? Like, did you feel different, or was it just?
Yeah. It's like I think just all the years, like all the years of like work and graft, and like for me the best thing, not even for myself, because it was a great achievement and feel like it was like a dream to do it, but just for my parents, like my mum and dad, that was just the
and the Parrot,
the icing and the Parrot, the icing on the cake, because like just looking at them after you've just achieved that, like the pride and how proud they were, that was just like that was if I don't win one again, or not even for me, but for them, it was just like I sort of made it for them, all the like the hard graft, everything they've done, because they've just, whatever I've done in life, like whether I've signed for that team, gone there, done this, done that, they've just like, whatever you do, we'll support you, we'll travel you around the world, we'll fucking do whatever we can to help you. And obviously I ain't paid them back at that point, it'll take a few years to pay them back.
Is that your dad with a tab?
Yeah, he's like, you're getting there, son. You're getting there. Keep chucking it in. Yeah.
He's the only man not cheering in the podium, like, okay, good lad.
Yeah.
Good lad. We'll just knock that off the bill.
Knock that off. But yeah, that was probably the best thing, for sure.
That's cool.
But after lifting the crown, what was the next stage? Worlds. How did that come about? Whose decision was it? Shaky? Was it yours? Who was the push? Tell us. Go for it.
Yeah, there was a lot of push in 22 from, not say push, but OMG wanted to sign me again for 23. Sort of maybe round 7 onwards.
Yes.
And we was already speaking to Yamaha Europe, to Dossley and people out there, because I wanted to move across to World Championship to make the step. And it all come about that it all come really late, to be honest, like November time I think it was, where there was an opportunity for me to go to a Yamaha team there, and it was almost not lucky, but almost had to happen, because we waited. Well, we basically not turned down OMG, but
you can't leave people hanging.
Can't leave people hanging. And just said, look, you need to sign someone, we get that, but I want to wait and see if there's an opportunity in World Superbikes, and if there's not, then that's my downfall, and sort of I made the mistake of waiting, sort of thing. So we waited, something come up with Yamaha to go to World Superbikes, and I thought about it because it was a tricky time, because I've had a couple of tough years in BSB, and then I found a real good place. I found a real good bike and a good team, was able to win races, won the championship, and I thought, well, I could just go again in BSB with the same team, keep enjoying my racing. But then I thought, I might not get another opportunity to go to World Championship.
Yes.
This might be my chance to go. And if it works out and I stay there for the next 10 years, then perfect. Like, that's my dream. Like, that'd be perfect. But if it doesn't work out, I can come back to BSB, and at least I sort of tried. Because if I didn't go, then I'd turn around and say, fuck, I wish I went. I wish I'd done that.
Regret that.
Yeah, I'd regret not going. So that was the decision to do that.
Because what must have made it a little bit harder was the fact that you didn't have the whole championship. Is that right in saying you didn't do flyaway rounds? Yeah,
which at that point was the first year was 2, so it was Phillip Island and Indonesia, I think.
Yeah.
So I missed the first 2 rounds.
So you must have thought, well, I'm not learning the tracks, and a little bit.
A little bit of that, but I wasn't overly stressed. I know it would have been nice to do both them tracks at the first year, but I was happy to go into World Championship, and obviously going in on the Yamaha as well, which was a bike that I've sort of rode, and at least I didn't have to learn a new bike. All a bit different, but it was a good step. Obviously, the results weren't there. It was a difficult couple of years, but I don't regret going for sure.
Okay, how different? We have this chat on this show 1,000 times, and you know what? I love bringing it up all the time because you always get a slight bit of difference from your Superbike to that particular World Superbike.
Yeah. Honestly, electronics.
Was it a night and day bike?
No.
Right.
Well,
So the chassis pretty much felt the same.
Well, that's the only thing. The chassis was different. The chassis was different, and the electronics were different. The chassis was.
So it was a different motorcycle.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is it was a different motorcycle.
Yeah. If you looked at it side by side,
It had
wouldn't tell
Yamaha
the difference.
written on it.
Yeah.
That was about the same.
You wouldn't tell the difference. They would look identical, but the chassis, I think, because Top Rat come into Yamaha, and the way he rides the bike is completely different to how anyone, and a lot of people said when he moved to Yamaha he's not going to get on with the bike, and it's not going to suit his style because of the way it is. But he somehow made a way around to ride that bike well, but also Yamaha went to him in his direction a lot with the front of the bike. So if you look at the Yamaha now, standard frame, which is what we run here, is just a standard frame, completely standard at the front, whereas the World Superbike was fully braced. So there's chunks of metal at the front and down the side, and then down the back as well, it's fully braced. So the bike basically lost a lot of the Yamaha characteristics. So I had a lot of crashes at the start of my World Superbike job because the front don't give you any feeling unless you're fucking hard on the anchors and you're burying the front into the corner. But as soon as you release the brake, it just wouldn't steer and would give you no feeling. So the only way to ride it was just basically slam on the front, get the front deep in the corner, stop, and then fire it out.
Could you put an old frame on? A stock frame?
Tried to push for that, but for some reason they didn't want to do it. They said we can put a frame on, but it has to be homologated. So once you homologate it, you have to run it. And I said, well, this frame for me is not the best, so I'd rather just at least try the standard frame. It might not be better, but it's certainly not going to be worse. But nothing ever changed, and we had basically the same frame. And yeah, that was it. So I had to change. I had to go to the bike basically, and for me to try and do something good with the bike, I had to change the way I rode a bit to basically get closer to how the bike needed to be ridden.
Do you believe that you got a chance to showcase your abilities or not?
No.
I thought you were going to say that.
No.
I was hoping he was going to say that.
So was I.
Imagine if you just sat opposite us went, no, I was. Oh no, that was me. That was me.
That was maxed out.
That was Max. And he's going to look down the lens in 10 minutes from now, going, "Can I have another go?"
Yeah.
Not a chance, son.
No. It was tricky. Almost.
Like, do you feel a little bit saddened by the fact that you haven't been able to really showcase your talents in that opportunity?
Yeah,
so
I do. Yeah. I feel like that they could have maybe done a little bit more to at least give you an opportunity, because that's all you want as a rider, don't you? You want to go into a championship, especially there where you need to have everything. You need to have the bike, the team, the crew chief, the electronics. Everything needs to be perfect for you to even get close to getting a result there. So all you want is to turn up and then say, right, you've got this, you've got that. It's the same as so and so. We're giving you the best, and at that point you think, right, I've got the best. I've got a good enough bike to do a result on. If I don't do a result, then I'm not cut out for this job. I'm not good enough to be in World Championship. But the opportunity basically we got promised a lot, and nothing happened. And from in this game, you need to be on top of it, and things need to be improved. You need to have different components at least to test. But from when I jumped on the bike in I think maybe Portimao, the end of 23 or beginning of 24, end of 22 to beginning of 23. From the moment I jumped on it there to when I left it Jerez in 24, was identical. Not a single thing had changed. So not a different swing arm, not a different frame. Electronics package was limited, so we only had the customer electronics, not the full electronics. We couldn't access the full engine brake, full maps, things like that. So there was a lot that we was restricted to, and even engine specs, we knew they had different engine specs.
Were you learning this throughout the whole process? Like every day, every time you went to a meeting, you learned something new. Then you learned like we're not getting that. And that must have been chiseling your confidence. Would you say? Fueling a slight bit of disappointment?
Yeah.
Would you say you're going, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh,
It's like everything. When you go into something, like especially in there, I sort of went in maybe with blinkers on a little bit. Because like, you like that, aren't you? You're just looking at one thing. You're looking at the bike, looking at the team, and you're like, right, I'm right up for this. And then the longer you're in it, the more your eyes open up, and you sort of see a lot more and of what's going on behind the scenes. And we asked, and Shane, to be honest, he was obviously working on my behalf, and was pushing to get to try things, anything. Like you'd speak to the factory and they say, oh, we tested a new swing arm and they didn't really like it, and Blocker's running it, but I don't know, Johnny's not, or Agata's not. And you'd say, well, can I test it? No, I can't test it. And you're like, why not? If you're not using it, that might help me. That might give me a little bit that I need.
Yeah, that might be the bit.
Might not work for them, but it might work for me, sort of thing. So, but opportunities didn't come for me to basically have anything, and it got to a point where I was fed up with the job and sort of not losing motivation, but just had enough. But then sort of midway through 24, I thought, right, this is it. This is all I've got. Let's just try and make the best out of the situation and enjoy the last few rounds, because I ain't coming back. I'm not coming back, obviously, in the World Championship. And it's a shame, really, because I really enjoyed the championship itself. I really enjoyed being in the World Championship. How sort of, I don't know what the word is, but it was quite a relaxed championship. I enjoyed, obviously, the different tracks, different conditions.
Sunshine,
sometimes rain, Magny-Cours. But yeah, it's just a bit of a change. But I wouldn't go back after knowing what I know now, unless it was on something that was like a factory bike or something.
The other thing is, like, in BSB terms, there isn't really anything unaccessible to most teams.
No.
So we're not used to that concept, really, are we?
No, exactly.
He's got it, but I can't. You know, like, if you go and buy a Honda and want to run a Superbike team, you can pretty much get the same Honda that Tommy's got within a gnat's cock of being that same bike, can't you? So I guess we're not used to that concept of, my bike isn't the same, so I can understand why you went in with blinkers, just going, I'm on a Yamaha, so is Johnny Ray and Locatelli, so I'll do what they do.
Yeah.
But there was also, like, flashes of brilliance. There was what, Imola 23, Cremona 24.
Yeah.
Like, you did have a couple of times when you did show, like, flipping heck, like, you are here at the party.
Yeah, there was a couple of races where I was sort of a million miles away, but Imola was probably the best, and like you say, Cremona was a good track as well. But some places you go to that there's nothing you can do when you're in the race situation, and you're following another Yamaha, and you are literally, you can't do nothing apart from go backwards from behind them, and
apart from what you're doing.
And you could brake a bit later, but that's not going to gain you enough time. But there was a couple of races where I wasn't far from Remy or Agata, but I was literally on the absolute limit all the time of just even being close to being in the top 15, and I thought it's not right. Like
that wasn't enjoyable.
I had some put the results aside and how far I was from the lead aside. There was a couple of races where I had a couple of battles, and I wasn't happy with the result. I wasn't happy with how far I was from the lead, but I was happy with how I rode in myself. And that's that's probably the only thing I took from World Championship, was I had to dig in, I had to grit my teeth, I had to keep my mouth shut at times, and I had to find a way of maybe overriding the bike a bit, but still being safe, if you know what I mean. Like, it's a weird thing to like sort of say, but
I think you might have answered my question, but like, what's your biggest take, the positive from those 2 years?
probably just how ruthless it is there. You know, in like BSB, maybe not so much now because it's the last few years have stepped up in BSB, but before you could get off the start, maybe you might qualify 9th, for example. You think, I'd be all right. If you got pace, you think, settle into the race, get into a rhythm, make a few passes, and I could probably get to the podium battle. Whereas in World Championship, when them lights go out, it's like absolutely everything you got. From lap 1, there's no tyre saving. Well, for me, there wasn't anyway. There was no tyre saving. There was no thinking about anything apart from I see a bike in front of me. I'm just
getting it,
having it, yeah. And I'm going to go as hard as I can every single lap. And the races are longer. They're in hot conditions. And I think that bringing back here has helped me. Obviously, coming back riding at such a limit all the time. It's almost like if you ride at 90% for a long time, that 90% becomes your normal, and then you try and go a little bit more and you think, that didn't feel right, but my 100% has become my normal now, so I don't know any different apart from going out and just giving everything. And you've learnt to ride near to that point, like you say, and touch wood and all that, but you know, like within reason, make it happen constantly, and not make too many mistakes. Obviously you have crashes and that's part of the job, but riding at the limit all the time, I've been able to do that better now than I did before.
You've just, I tell you what, like, I think that is clearly evident about what's been happening this season, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just been off you go, but do you feel like everyone's catching on to the trick or not quite yet?
Yeah, I think
everyone's going to bed at night looking at TSL going, fuck. Yeah. No, it's, you know what I mean? It's about raising the bar.
Yeah.
And to be blunt, this year, I'm not blowing smoke up your arse because it's sat opposite, but when you watch the telly, you're just going, that one's done, right? Happy days, flick it back on.
Yeah.
which is a great position to be in, but like you've answered my next question throughout this whole interview. It's a bit like, where's this secret weapon come from? And you've just literally explained it.
Yeah.
The fact of it is that ruthless over there.
Yeah, it is. No, it is 100%, and it has definitely helped me this year for sure. Coming back, because the way it's definitely stepped up for sure. BSB in the last few years, like, and each year it gets stronger and stronger. Lap times get faster. The group gets closer, and I think.
Which is great. Which is great for the championship.
100%. Yeah. And I think the one thing that was good for me was obviously a lot of races I've done this year. I've just gone off at the front, which I'm happy to do because I do a lot of work in practice on my own. I do most everything I do is on my own. My qualifying laps, and for me, it's obviously sometimes you need a tow. Everyone needs a tow. Everyone needs a carrot sometimes to get up the grid, and that's
need a bag of them.
That's racing, and that's ultimately if you're on the front row or the third row, that can make the complete different outcome to your race. So, getting off at the front is good because I'm happy leading. I'm happy. I know the rhythm. I know the pace. I'm happy being on the limit at that point. But a few races, people have stuck it to me and obviously attacked because they know what my game plan's going to be. I know if I get to the front and attack, then it's difficult to catch back up. But a lot of people now have maybe
it's brilliant
cottoned on to the thing.
It is brilliant though, isn't it? You know, the fact, I'm sorry, but you always need the stronger, the stronger, faster fighter. You know what I mean? Then everyone just goes, oh, right. Well, if I want to keep my job, I've got to go up and go up and go up, and it's getting tasty.
Yeah, but no, I enjoy the battles. Like I do enjoy. I don't mind battling at all. Like if I'm in the mix, then I'll get stuck in for sure. But some people prefer to stay in the mix and wait till the last few laps and make some overtakes. But for me, I'm happy looking at the pit board and just ticking off the laps and just
Which you've done quite a lot this year. Obviously, you've equalled Shaky's win streak record. How much did he pay you not to get the ninth one?
Do you know what? I was.
Did it get mentioned before that ninth race or like?
No, do
Yeah,
you know?
if you want me to be your manager from now on, you can't.
He said,
get my
do you know what? He said, if anyone's going to beat it, I'll let you beat it. And
how did he say it?
he said it quite nicely, actually.
With a cattle prod.
There was no like, you better not beat it. Yeah, it was a. Honestly, I would have loved to. Like, I would have loved to just, not to one up him, but
just
just
to one up him.
It would have been, one up him. Yeah, no, he's still got records now, and he like wins.
Scary.
Even like this.
Has he not still got that record here?
Yeah, we was looking through.
We're at Thruxton, by the way. I thought you mentioned it, didn't you? But yeah, we're at Thruxton. I'm sure Shaky still got that record.
2016, what,
Mental.
13.8 or something, 13.6 I think it is.
On what bike? Was that the Kawasaki or the
Ducati.
Don't know. It's probably a twin shock back then. God knows.
Yeah,
black and white?
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a runway. It was a straight line.
I always take the piss out. He's nearly 50 this year, Shane.
Is he?
Yeah, he's nearly 50 this year. I always take the piss out of him.
Has he ridden a bike? Yeah.
I bet he could still pedal if you put him on one. If he's had his like full mobility and stuff, I bet he'd still pedal.
He would, wouldn't he? Yeah.
You can't switch off that pedal, can you?
No. You might lose your sharpness, but I reckon over a bit you'd soon.
He'd find a bit back, wouldn't he? Yeah, he's a bit of a.
But so this year, like, it's been like insanely good, but it nearly didn't happen.
Yeah. Very touch and go, that. For you as well, yeah.
Oh no, I got the boot. No one loved me. I never got a job again there.
We all got the boot in the same message.
Yeah, I know.
That's like,
But so you knew what 4 or 5 rounds from the end you weren't getting, or you did. What was the World Superbike? Let's just finish that one off. You didn't want to stay, or there wasn't room at the inn, or both.
both, a bit of both. Yeah, there wasn't. Was trying to push to maybe get on the
bike.
GYTR, like the Agata sort of thing, but I think they were both pretty much signed up for the next year. There was an opportunity for me to stay in my team MotoX, but basically not in the Yamaha contract anymore. So I was with the Yamaha contract for 2 years.
Oh, so you're almost going to be worse off if you step down again.
And it was like, right, you could probably ride for us again, but you won't get paid. Like, basically, you can ride for free. I was like, well, that's not going to happen. Yamaha didn't want to keep me. There was maybe trying to get me into like a super sport job, like Tenkate or something like that.
Was that something you considered?
I would have considered it, but same again, probably wouldn't have got paid anything. I think Yamaha themselves would have had to put money into the team for me to ride there. So at that point I was like, I'm not coming back. I mean, if it was a Ruber Ducati or something,
I was about to say, were other manufacturers,
then I'd ride for free, because I think, right, I'll ride for free. At least I can be at the front. I can have a package that's good, but I don't want to ride for free, travel around Europe, travel around the world, cost myself a fortune doing all that to ride for free, and not even get close to the top 15. It's not a bit of me.
No.
And it shouldn't be like that either. Like riding for free or things like that. It's just not.
Your professional level, you deserve to get paid. This is the level you're at, gentlemen. You know what I mean?
This is a professional level, and that's what people don't realise in BSB. Like, the BSB is the best domestic championship. Like, it's the top level you can get to in the UK, really. And even people from America and even World Superbikes come back and do BSB. So I think, well, we talk about money, and you could wish to get paid X and Y, but I think people deserve to get paid in BSB and get paid a good wage at least, and not even think about bringing money or think about doing anything else apart from racing a bike, because at a professional level you need to basically be an athlete, don't you? Like,
but be professional, and that means you need to be paid to become, by essence, professional.
Like a professional athlete. So I didn't want to stay in that team. I thought, if I'm going to come back to BSB, the opportunity was there to go with OMG, and there was good memories there. Obviously leaving 22, coming back, the bike's almost identical to when I left anyway. The Yamaha hasn't changed.
Well, when did the Alan Bucks, the circuit, which circuit was it again? I keep forgetting. The two circuits.
Almeria, wasn't it?
Almeria, thank you very much. And first time I actually met Brad properly, and it was like, honestly, they must have brushed the dust off the Brad race seat. You know what I mean? It was like, it was all labelled up and everything like that.
Yeah, the old seat was back on, wasn't it?
But I'll tell you what, you're going to probably hit me for saying this, but this is a very different Brad Ray we've got here when you're getting interviewed, by Eurosport and everything like that. You're so locked in. Even after the race, you're like, well, this happened. You're like, all right, happy days. Now you sit back, you relax. Yeah. Even more funny in a hotel, like just laughing on, having the crack. But that was my first test with any team like that, and I couldn't believe how, I'm going to get in trouble saying this, professionally unprofessional it was.
Yeah.
Like how much joking on there was. But everyone was doing their job at such a high level. Yeah. But you lot chucking things at each other. You know what I mean? Like properly laughing.
That's what I loved about that team, because it was like a family atmosphere.
A fun family. You've just invented the word there, son. I like it.
But yeah, when it needed to get done, like it was boom serious. Everything was serious, but there was the fun aspect to it as well. Like went on ski trips with the team, with Paul and a few people, and outside of the garage, like you'd have the good crack. But as soon as you walked in the back of that garage, ready for your session, it was like, right, this is a job. This is what we've got to do. And then after, it was like a good crack again. So that was always, and that was one thing that I was excited to come back to, was that environment, that bike, that team. I would have had the same crew chief, mechanics that when I left in 22. So I was really excited to come back and have that fire again in me and have a good crack. Obviously, Carl just won the championship, so
the dream was laid out.
Yeah, and it was sort of ideal, and everything was perfect until it sort of wasn't, was it?
The 1st of April. I tell you what, let's talk about your personal situation as far as the message came through. Mm-hmm. Alan and Paul were dropped in the shit, and I've said that a million times. That situation got pulled from them, and it got all pulled from us. What was your initial, like, oh shit, what am I going to do? What was your initial reaction for yourself as far as your career?
Yeah, it was a bit, because it was so late on, wasn't it? It's the
1st of April.
1st of April of all the days. But April is like, well, we was literally the next day, I think.
We were all booked for flights
to go to testing. So there was nothing looking into BSB. There was nothing that was available. There was no teams available. Obviously got Kyle that was out of a ride as well at the time. So you would almost expect that BSB would choose Kyle over me to get, if there was one seat available, then the number one plate is important to get in the championship. Kyle's just won the championship.
I'm glad you said that, because that's, it respected the championship,
Yeah, and you would expect that, and rightly so, because he's just won the championship. He's just basically been kicked out on the road, and they need that number one plate in, and he deserves to be in there. I've just done 2 years in World Championship, and I want to come back, sort of thing. So it was tricky, and I was sort of worried at the time, because there was nothing there. And I called Paul, funny enough. I sort of looked at it and I thought, that's bizarre. I'm like, leave that for a minute. And then I looked at it again and I was like, read it through again. I thought, that might be real. Like, it's quite serious. And then so I rang Paul. He was like, all right, mate. I was like, you got to be fucking joking, ain't you? He was like, no, I'm being serious. I was like, you are taking the piss. Like,
he asked 3 times. I asked 3 times.
He was like, no, mate, honestly, I'm really sorry. It's serious. I was like, well, what the fuck do you do now? And like, where'd you go? What'd you do? Who'd you call? Like,
who did you call? What did you do?
I rang Shane. I was like, you'll never guess what. He was like, what? I was like, OMG had pulled out. He's like, you're fucking kidding me.
It's like, the 1st of April, who do you...
Yeah, I was like, no, seriously. I said, I've just got a message. I said, OMG pulled out, I'm jobless. I said, I ain't got a ride. And I must have done 5k. I've got a smaller 1-bed apartment in Andorra. I must have done 5k around the apartment. I couldn't sit still, I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I was walking up, I rang Shane, rang Paul, rang Mum, rang Dad, because everyone was away, rang my girlfriend. Like, And I was sat down, then I stood up, and then I sat on the balcony on my windowsill, and then I made another phone call, and I was like, right, well, what are we going to do then? That was it. And at that point, I thought, well, I'll just maybe get a practice bike, because there was no rides available, there was no teams available, everything was done. OMG pulled out. I didn't want to come back, as bad as it sounded, and go to maybe a lower team and come back and maybe not get results and maybe not look good on my career sort of thing. So I thought I'll just sit it out.
The whole year?
Yeah, I thought, well, there's nothing available. There might be a stand-in ride if someone gets injured in World Championship or, I don't know, Motor America or BSB. There might be something that I can maybe do a couple of rounds on. Jesus. So I thought I'll just get a practice bike. I'll go and get a Yamaha R1 or something and just go and do some Spanish track days and ride and just keep myself bike fit for anything that comes up, sort of thing.
So what you're telling me is the news hit, you went on eBay.
Yeah, I was like, R1.
Oh shit! All right,
Track bikes for sale.
Bid me
Looked
now.
at Yamaha R1 and I was like, looked and I checked the price and I was like,
I can't afford that.
maybe not. I ain't got no money coming in. Right, we'll sack that off then. I'll just go cycling for a few months and that was it. But yeah, no, Shane. The weird thing was, I don't obviously nobody knows of what went on with the situation, and you don't want to say too much, but Shane spoke to me and he was like, well, we'll just ring round, try and get some sponsors, because if they're short money, then let's ring round and get a load of sponsors in. Like you
mean to almost reinvigorate the team as it was?
Yeah, just chuck some money into the team, and obviously not an ideal situation, but got a few contacts that might chuck a few quid in and bring the team back up. And it's sort of a case like, no, team's done, that's it. Doesn't really matter about the sponsors, team shut down and it's done overnight sort of thing. It was like, oh, something must be quite serious if that's just happened. So then left that and Shane basically got the phone to Stuart and weirdly rang Steve from McCams, Steve Rogers,
who packed up shop at this point.
Completely retired, sold everything to OMG.
Enjoying his first year off.
First year of retirement, yeah. He was
on
just,
the telly.
Yeah.
He was
Enjoying
just getting
himself.
over not going racing. He was like, basically just...
All the therapy bills, it's been paid.
Yeah. And he rang him up. He said, Steve, what do you think about coming back racing? And he was like, fuck, I ain't even thought about it. I've just sort of happily retired. Didn't even think about it. And then obviously phone calls were made between Shane, Steve, Stuart, and sort of tried to get something together. And then he rang Shane back and was like, we're good to go, driver, let's do it. And then that was sort of it. So obviously at the start it was going to be basically the McCams van, turn up, rock up, go racing like dad and lad sort of style. But yeah, OMG lent Steve a truck, which obviously Steve's now brought the trailer, and then Steve's just a top bloke and just loves racing for the thrill of it. Don't do it for anything else but winning and enjoying it. And the bike's coming in the truck, and then obviously now I've got a garage board in, and it's like becoming a thing, yeah. full job now. So.
And your crew chiefs, Mark Woodage and Brad, aren't there, who were working for OMG, and then it's like jobs were saved. And it was
exactly. It's just especially that late on, you're trying to, obviously a lot of the people work for McCams, for Steve Rogers anyway. So Tony and Matt, my tyre man, they work for Steve at the workshop.
Yes, yeah.
So he's got a couple of crew that are loyal and would come straight on, but like trying to find crew chiefs and electronics people.
Were they happy to come out of retirement?
Well, I don't think that's a choice. Do you want to keep your job? Yeah, right. Well, you're right.
You're working weekends.
Exactly that.
There's them telling their wives at home, going, "It's over. The nightmare's over, darling. I'll be home every weekend." Brad Ray's back. Oh, for fucking.
That's Brad. It now. Yeah, every weekend.
Fucking Brad. Fucking Ray.
Yeah. It is a bit like that. Yeah.
But like you say, getting a crew chief, like everything getting in place, and look what you're doing now.
Yeah. No, it's a proper job. And Steve, to be fair to him, said, look, if we're going to do it, it needs to be done right, and everything needs to be done properly. Can't just turn up and half-heart it. It's either going to happen or it's not, sort of thing. So yeah, Steve was the magic man who saved the day, basically.
So
incredible.
Like Christian said, like it nearly didn't happen. So let's briefly go back to Worlds. Where's your thought process now? This is going well, it's gone from mint, we're back in British, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got fuck all now, son.
Yeah.
Back to, this is going all right again.
Yeah.
So where's Brad Ray at the moment with your future? Very deep, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's a very, very deep question.
We chatted a bit over message, didn't we? And I was like, do you think that Yamaha's is a pricking back up? Maybe now you are showing them again. You already showed them once what you've got, what the talent you've got. Do you think this is like going? Is it just a told you so, or is it I told you so? And do you want to give me another shot?
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? Like, I would definitely go back to World Championship. I think because if you've got it, it's sort of silly to turn. If you've got Patter wanted you to ride in a factory team, and you're like, do you know what? Maybe not. Like, it's you'd be stupid not to.
Yeah.
Because
it goes without saying, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. At that point, you'd be like, yeah, of course, I'd love to do that. But would I go back on a satellite bike or like a fourth Yamaha team or maybe a Honda at the minute, like a satellite Honda team? No, because it's not going to give me a chance to prove anything. They'd be like, all he can do is ride in BSB. He's not cut out for World Championship. Whereas in like Taz, for an example, like he's had 2 years on a satellite Honda and has been nowhere near even getting in the points because the package isn't there for him. There's no doubt he can ride a bike. He's a talented lad, and he's just gotten that Ducati of Scott's at the last round and was in the mix. I think he finished 8th in one of the races. Started 9th on the grid. Was in the mix with Johnny and
Aye.
Like,
never seen the bike before. Well, obviously seen it, but never sat on it before the weekend.
And that's the difference. That Taz that left Honda is the same Taz, but he's just got on something that's competitive and can show his potential. And that's the biggest thing. If there's not a package there that can show your potential as a rider, then you just get maybe labelled a bit as, he can ride his BSB and his level's not World Championship level. Whereas I think anyone on their day, even in BSB now, there's a lot of people here that could go to World Championship on a decent and get results, because you can't pedal a BSB bike round and not be a doer. Do you know what I mean? Not be a good rider, and people don't realise that. People in World Championship are maybe except Top Rack and Bulaga, because they are maybe a cut above the rest at the minute, but the rest they've got 2 arms and 2 legs, and
just guys on bikes
that have got a good opportunity and good people behind them. They're not superhuman, they're not heroes. I mean, there is certain racers and people out there who have just got an edge on everyone that you'll never know why or what, but they have. But for the rest, you're more than capable of doing the right job on the right bike. So, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of our patrons had asked. Erin Jeffs and Alan Rogerson have both asked pretty much like the future and stuff. So yes, well answered. To be fair, it is. You're not old, so potentially you've got a long time left in BSB. Do you think? Would you be like, if that is just what happens, you'd be happy enough just like enjoying racing like you are? Can you see yourself just being like?
Yeah, I think it's funny. I was having a conversation with Shane the other day. He'd sort of questioned me a bit and said, he sort of, would you be...
You could be here for another 10, 15, whatever years, couldn't you?
Would it satisfy you just turning up year after year in BSB? Like, maybe not winning every year, but could you just keep turning up? I'm 28 now. I could go till I'm 40, 45 maybe. Who knows if you're fit and healthy.
Some of us are nearly there now.
Yeah. Like, could you...
Not you though, Chris.
Could you do that for the next, like...
Shut up, Grace. 14
years or 15 years? Like, could you find the motivation to do that? I thought, do you know what? You don't know until you're in that situation, but I'd like to, if I'd done another year next year, or if I got an opportunity to go World Championship and done a few years there, maybe 4 or 5 years there, and then come back to BSB, might have a longer career or enjoy BSB a bit more.
I could almost prolong it.
Prolong it.
Yeah.
Or would I be maybe annoyed at myself that I maybe didn't take an opportunity again in World Championship and stuck in BSB and thought, do you know what, I wish I couple of years ago, I took that opportunity. It might not got me anywhere, but it might have done. So
you regret the things that you don't do in life.
not the things that you do. Yeah,
That's it. You know what I mean?
that is so true. Yeah,
It's like, you can have a job forever, but then you think, I wish I did that. And if it fails horribly,
yeah. I think you should just try.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
This one's a Patreon question, but if you weren't a motorbike racer, like,
who asked
were you
that?
training for some Paul Bennett, by the way? Sorry.
Class. No, I'm
Would you like?
I'm not being a total anti-social.
Yeah, we're not just
by
on
the
our
way, like that. Yeah, we're bored of this now.
Yeah, if you weren't a motorbike racer, did you have a trade or something you were going to do, or was there a line of work you were, or have you always just been bikes and? you
Yeah,
never had
always. Through my whole life, I've never had a plan B. Really, honestly, never.
another? Thank God you're half decent then.
I know,
I
yeah.
tell you what, our young listeners out there,
Don't follow my path.
To be fair, I told that to my careers advisor. I'm going to race motorbikes, and I
Yeah.
got in trouble for it apparently. But yeah,
You do, didn't you?
I also had
just wanna
my
race
PE
bikes.
teacher told me dad that I don't do well in team sports. My dad was like, "Good."
Yeah.
We've interviewed his dad. I've met him for 2 hours, and I firmly believe those words have come out of your mouth.
He was well proud of me. You know, the PE teacher obviously thought I was going to get a rollicking, and then
Good
You're not a
lad,
team
son.
player,
Good
my
lad.
boy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I'd just be a. Well, I did work for maybe 4 years with my dad, just general building basically,
Right.
just being a labourer and knocking muck, doing all like labouring stuff really, and I enjoyed it. I didn't mind it because I'm more of a hands-on person, and I can't sit around. I struggle doing anything to do with that. So being hands-on and doing that was actually enjoyable. But there was always through school life and things like that, I just had plan A, and that was race motorbikes.
Nothing else tickled your pickle, you were just-
And I thought, GCSEs didn't really do them. Didn't turn up to a few of them and didn't get any grades, so it was either labourer or motorcycle racer. Yeah, that's it.
Or you could be Christian Iddon and do both. He loves it. He does a
Yeah,
bit of everything.
No, I went to uni because my mum said to me, she was like, right, you either get a job or go to uni. And I'm like, well, I know which one of them sounds the easier of the two.
I've just got a nip to uni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that one.
Yeah.
Jason Photostrada asked, when are you going to try and challenge Wardy at the Lord of Liddon?
Do you know what? I got questioned about that the other day. Somebody said to me about doing the Lord of Liddon, and I said to him, I was like, I can't go there and
You can.
take the crown from
You can.
Wardy because
You can.
Is that his thing?
he loves the Lord of Liddon.
No,
He's like,
you should.
Do you think you could? Because like
I don't know,
he
he's a
pedals,
doer.
doesn't he? Like to go in someone's backyard. Like I know it's
Yeah.
your backyard, but like he's probably
I've
raced
never
there
been
more.
Well,
have you not?
I've done one day on a supermoto.
Oh
around
right,
there.
I thought you might have done a bit still.
But
If you were going to come up with an alter ego race name
alter
and
ego.
enter alter ego race name, what would that name be for you? If you were going to enter Lord of Liddon as, I don't know, Christian Hasselhoff or something like that. I'm trying to think about. I want to fake
Christian Hasselhoff,
you,
David's brother.
Some random name. I want to see this random name
I don't
on
know
the
what-
Liddon entry list one day, like newcomer in the bib. We'll duct tape your R1. We'll make it look proper
do you know
shite.
what? I wouldn't know actually.
Just you get your moustache and everything. Just turn up next to Tom Warden. Hello, son. You all right, new lad? Yeah, I've never been here before. Bullshit.
Yeah. I'd have to think about the name.
You'll
But
have-
do you know what? Yeah. Wardy's a bit of a doer around there. And on his day, I've done a few track days with Tom. And he can pedal a bike round. He can
pedal a bike.
And some days, like when I watch him here, and I think, I've seen you ride a bike, Tom. You're better than this. Like, him on track days on scrub tyres is fast.
Yeah,
Him on a race weekend on brand new tyres, you think, what's happened? Like, hold on. He'll go somewhere and he'll do a track day. But, just fucking beat my lap time from last year on 30 lap old scrubs, like from qualifying. And you think, how have you done that? And then he'll go there the race weekend on brand new tyres and go half a second slower than what he went on a test the week before.
Do you reckon it's what you were discussing about, that mentality element?
Yeah,
of
I think
just,
so,
like,
yeah.
overthinking it and probably struggling and tightening up. And...
Yeah, he is a bit like that, but he can fucking pedal the bike, the old boy.
Have you ever done? Obviously, we've just finished Suzuki at 8 hours. I feel like I've entered. Yeah, I've just finished it. No, the event's finished. Have you done World Endurance?
Yeah, done Suzuka
You've done
twice.
Suzuka.
Yeah,
That's it. Jack Miller.
2018.
Jack Miller.
That
on the
would've-
Suzuki.
On the Suzuki, yeah. Yeah, do you
I did it a couple of times, yeah.
You did, didn't you? Yeah.
You did it on Bridges, didn't you? Bridges?
Yeah. Proper track that is.
Because
Yeah,
Because how did Wardy get on?
He didn't do it.
Is he? I thought he was.
No, he was supposed to do Suzuka, but I think they had some problems around before, and he didn't have enough budget basically to fly out there and do Suzuka.
Right. Got you.
It's also a bit of a shame because it's an 8 hour. Not that you'd want to do any more around there. Eight's too much, to be fair.
Yeah.
But like you get less points. So like for the European teams to go out there, it's a lot of budget, and then it's literally split into 3. Is how a 24 is split up. So 8 it's basically like doing 1 round. When if you do a 24, it's like doing 3 rounds.
Got you.
It's how it works.
Got you. I like it. Well, I tell you what, he's nicked my question here, Andrew Jones, and I think I definitely would have asked this in episode 5. But would you ever race the TT? Andrew
You
Jones?
definitely asked that.
I would definitely. I asked
You
that to
definitely
everyone,
asked that,
mate.
yeah.
That is my gut. You know what? The TT never thanked me.
They
We've
should.
had 200,
You should be
we've had 200,000 episodes, and I mentioned the TT
Every time.
and I get fucked.
If you invoice £1 for every one, you'd have £247 right
Oh,
now.
mate, a man can dream. Stop trying to line that
Let's
thing
do
up.
it.
There.
Yeah, maybe do
Paul
that.
Phillips.
No, I wouldn't. No, I
That's that.
yeah. No,
There's your pound.
no. I love the place. I think I have so much respect for you and the boys who go around there, and it's a special place to go and visit and watch and do. But it's just not for me. I don't know whether you have to have a different mentality to ride there, like almost. I don't not switch off, but like I only know one speed, and that's 100%. That is it. And I think you can't do that at the TT, can you? Or can you?
Then you see, then that's my 100%. If you know what I mean. It's like I ride as hard around the TT as I do on a short circuit.
Right.
But I've done.
I'll put my hand up for that. Disagree.
Go for it.
My theory is everyone has a self-preservation thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't disagree. You think you're going to 100%, but your brain only allows you to go to a certain bit. Everybody has an inbuilt self-preservation.
Yeah.
And if let's say we're at Alton, all right? I picked that out of thin air, by the way. It's not. I don't mean it's dangerous. I've just picked it out of thin air. But then, if you took that track and had 0 barriers anywhere,
Would you guys fast?
you would definitely go faster.
Yeah.
I think you would.
Nah, but then
I don't think you can help it.
No,
And
but
if you then did the opposite, okay, let's take it the other way, and you put barriers all the way around it, you would definitely go slower. So if you would definitely go slower with barriers around it, the opposite has to be exactly true. So
Yes,
and
subconsciously.
both ways you would say I'm going 10/10, and I genuinely believe that. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
thing.
But then there's people that I beat on at the TT and on roads that I can't beat on short circuits.
Because your self-preservation is different to others.
Wait, it is,
That's-
but then
that's
it's,
how
no,
I
but then
think.
I know I agree with that, and it's about your desire, and I get nervous about the TT about failing, not that, like
Yeah.
I want a result of the TT, and the gumshoe go and I'm willing to go for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I go to a short circuit and I still think of the TT, and I'm going, well, if I smash my bike up here, I won't go to the TT.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
that's,
You know, that
that's straight
preservation,
away.
no,
But
yeah,
that's preservation, but in a different way. That's going, if I smash this up, I can't go to the other ones. But it's the same thing. You still think you're going hard. You're going as hard as you dare to without having the consequence.
But then I'm still...
It's only a theory. Like, I'm not saying
no,
that's...
no. I completely...
gospel,
I agree with that
yeah.
part of your theory, but it's like what I'm... It's still going to hurt at 80% is what is going to be at 100% around there. No,
Totally
it's
agree, yeah.
no,
I'll tell you-
but
I'll tell you the best way I
For
can
me,
describe it.
I'm willing to go into a corner, and you know what I mean. It's like
The best way I can
Yeah.
sort of put it to you, Dom, is there's riders that do both, and the riders that do both have an awful lot of crashes on the short circuits, and thankfully almost never crash on the roads.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree with
So therefore, in my opinion, as much as they feel like they're going 10/10 on both, they're not, because something's holding them within a safety margin.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Get what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just a theory.
No, but if you sponsor me this year, then I can
I
afford
ain't
to
got
crash
any
on
money.
short circuits, and then
I'm so poor.
that's what I was excited about this
He's
year.
took all the prize money.
Of course he fucking has. He's off and away with it. I tell you what, that's what I was
I
really
can't even get a
excited
sniff. I wish he'd stayed at World Championships on his flipping shit box.
We've got a few
flipping
boxes
God knows
this year,
what.
wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I would have actually. I've had a few fourths. It's his fault.
about. Class. I tell you what, I was looking forward to that this year. Is like that the OMG team, just their mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Alan was like, "Look, you're going to crash. I expect you to crash," and you're thinking, "Fuck, I've never had that."
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow.
That's one thing in racing, innit? Especially at this game. Like, I'd never get on that bike and think, fucking hell, if I crash, the team's going to have a go at me, or if I crash, they just think, if that thing goes end over end, snaps in half, a few hours later, there'll be another one sat in the garage ready to go for FP2. I know it's a bad thing to say.
No, it's not.
But
That's the game
that's
you're at.
how it is, yeah. And the teams know that as well. The teams expect it as well. Hence why they have however many, whatever in the back of the truck, because if worst case it does happen, then it can be repaired and you're out again.
You do still get it. You do still get owner managers that'll be, don't crash this or do better. And like neither of those comments has ever generated a better result
No.
ever in the history of racing, which has been happening for a while. Neither of those comments has ever helped any situation.
Yeah.
Because then you ride tight or worse, and then the opposite happens. You then will crash even more
exactly,
probably,
yeah,
or
yeah.
you will go slower or whatever it is. Neither of those comments, and it is probably hard. Like if I owned a bike and I seen things barrel rolling, I would probably get a little bit narky.
Yeah, especially if you
So
have
it must
put a
be
bit of
hard
money
if you
in.
put yourselves in someone
Yeah.
else's shoes. But yeah, it's never. Sometimes them comments definitely need to stay to themselves.
Yeah, just
100%, especially at this game. But
100%,
but obviously, for all, I'm going to do some quick shout outs on that side of things because obviously
Yeah. We've done a
throughout
few,
the-
but we had loads of
my
questions.
God, there was loads. Sam Higginson, Tony Rolls, John James, Dale Jones. God, you've got some love here, mate.
Lots of love. 3
Steve
pages
Moore,
of love.
are we looking at the right thing? No, I'm joking. No, Mick, Dave.
Subscribers,
Yes,
boy.
that's the one.
Mate, you have
That's
to put
the
your
one.
details in now. It's impossible. The other day, I was all fruity. I was trying to get verified. I had to prove my age, make a password. Forgot my password. Got blocked out for half an hour.
Did ya?
And yeah,
Christian, you're in the bathroom a lot longer than you normally
Yeah.
am. I'm just trying to get on the website.
Yeah.
it's the longest I've ever gone. I nearly forgot about it after half an hour. I was like, oh, I can go back on now.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Log back in, away we go.
Oh, fantastic.
Isn't that lethal they've done that?
It is. It's terrible. It is bad. It's
Sad,
bad.
isn't it?
Oh, it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy.
It is,
Just put that out
actually
there.
is unhealthy.
I know, I feel backed up. It's
Anyway,
Anywho, that was that podcast.
Yeah.
No, but obviously, hey, outstanding. Thank you
Mega.
so much
No,
for coming
appreciate
on the
it, boys.
show and obviously
Yeah.
taking the time to get on. And
No.
it's been absolutely fantastic. And obviously, good luck.
Thank you very much.
You hurry up and beat him.
I'm trying.
You do it, mate.
I think it's
Yeah,
going to
this
be
is-
a good weekend, or a bit of a mix-up this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always love Thruxton for that, because it's just, there's
is.
always like a bit of a dogfight somewhere.
Oh, 100%.
And
you also never really know where you stack until the last 3 laps, do you?
No, exactly. And you'll go into a corner and you'll be like, okay, who's out the inside? You're like, fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play, yeah, right, he's in the mix. And you think, it's like people that maybe don't have a chance in normal tracks to like get up the front and get in the mix.
Yeah.
And then like the last 3 laps, you just sort of see, right, he's off, right, these boys are left, these are what saved their tyre, and away you go, sort of thing. But
Do you dare say, are you fussed about the result or not at Thruxton? I know that's a bit, obviously you're always fussed about the result, but like you say, it's such like, there's like 10 of you. Like,
I think it's
Fair play.
like an achievement here. I think it's like a achievement in yourself of like
won it.
being like the best tactically as well.
Yeah.
Like you've not been the fastest throughout the race, or you've not been up the front the whole race, but you've been smart, you've saved your tyre, and by the end of it you come through and won the race. So ultimately you've been the most clever person out of everyone.
Well, hopefully that'll be me. So thank you,
that-
Brad.
that's
That's
right.
that's satisfying as a rider to think,
Yeah.
the work I've done through the weekend, it's paid
It
off,
is definitely the one race of the year where it's a thought. You're racing, but not racing.
Yeah,
it's the weirdest
it's strange,
thing.
Yeah,
Class.
you're attacking, but not like you have to attack on the brakes, but then you're like pick up the throttle.
You come out of corners.
All you want to do is go like but you just can't.
You come out of a corner, don't you, having a go slow race with someone because you both could beat the next one to the next corner, but you kind of neither of you want to hurt the tyre, and it's like whoop, and then the other one will go whoop, and you're like
yeah, and then the end,
and then you go rah.
That's
just
it,
like.
Yeah.
It'll be good fun, won't it?
I can't wait. I just can't wait to watch it. It's going to be absolutely class, gentlemen. Absolutely class. And obviously, merch. I'm literally looking at the Ugly & Co catalogue.
Yeah.
So if you want to get your hands on some gear, the best way to do it is
yeah,
through
the
the
boys
Ugly & Co.
have cracked on with the merch this year, and yeah, I like that. Just the general stuff's really nice. So you got the skateboard there, but
You need to sign that, by the way.
yeah, I'll get on that. Yeah,
Damn right.
But yeah, no, they've done all my merch this year, so
Fantastic.
made up with them. Yeah,
Fantastic.
Very
And obviously get you followed on all social media platforms.
good. Yeah,
Happy days, mate. Happy days. But obviously,
right up for it.
yet again, thank you so much. Good luck for the weekend, the pair of you.
cheers, boys.
And the show has been brought to you by OMG Racing, Lucky Day Competitions, JCT, Truck and Trailer Hire, and Grace is looking at me from the side eye, so please buy some merch. I'm getting
What have we got,
nods.
Grace?
We've got mugs, we've got hats, we've got everything. In fact, take that shit off at the top of your head. Let's give you a Chasin the Racin hat. Get you in a proper one. Happy days.
Yeah,
Obviously, all our
sort me
books,
out.
quick shift of coffee. We do everything at Chasin the Racin here. This is the one-stop shop.
And sign up and be a Patreon.
Mate, you are good, aren't you?
Well, it's
Straight
just-
in.
missed that one, didn't
you
you?
get the
Nearly.
early access. You get to ask questions. You get
Patreon days at the race.
Patreon days at the racing. We've got Josh Corner just out there.
He's in his levers now.
He's literally setting your coffee machine up right now. Patreons. He's putting the little jam scone things out for you.
I'm coming
Prepping
round
it
in the
all.
morning.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Right, well, anyway, good night, God bless. Catch us later on.
boys.
See you in a
Thank you.
minute.
See ya.
This week's episode sponsor is Celsius Doors. Celsius Doors, local business based in Carlisle, established in 2010. They are specialists in anything from commercial, industrial roller shutter doors. Originally starting the business over in Carlisle, they've expanded out to other areas of the UK and are now setting up another depot in the Newcastle region. Celsius Doors also a proud sponsor of the Chasin the Racin F900 team, and we've been working with them for quite a long time now. We'll put all of their contact details in the description below, and you can reach out if you have any requirements for roller shutter doors, anything industrial or commercial.